Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. Think of all that time. Those hours no one else could sprint in the summer. Every wait in the winter. Every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time.
Seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman, what did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now. Marshawn Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
Looking to get into Smith. What a pass! Not game! Wardell Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
A career year. And like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks this season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by a thread.
As true as day is night, my friend. Death, taxes, and the Chicago Bears losing to the Green Bay Packers. It's what it is. It's what it's always going to be.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking home team. We'll take this.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Put him in there.
This knocked me off, though.
Who the heck is that guy?
Deflected good, help defense from the Warriors. Oh, what a pass! And Kuminga throws it down! This could be the pass of the year so far. You might watch every game the rest of the season in the NBA.
Mr. Announcer guy. So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that.
You're such a hater.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle on Military Broadcast Radio. The boys are back. The boys are buzzing. Monday, football frenzy.
It's about that time.
Military Broadcast Radio. Boys, we've had college football playoff games. How about those Irish taking down the big bad SEC Georgia Bulldogs? That sets up a matchup with the Fighting James Franklins and the Penn State Nittany Lions.
Favorable matchup.
Texas, I gotta say, Jimmy, Ohio State.
I'm going Irish all the way. I'm all aboard the
Let's
Irish.
go
train,
Irish.
man.
Let's go Irish.
Yeah, man.
The fighting Marcus Freeman's. Boys.
I don't know. There isn't a team that I like more left in this playoff than Notre Dame. Like they're
We're a fun story, dude.
They're a good story. I love Marcus Freeman as a coach and as a human being. It's hard to not want to root for the Irish, you know.
Yeah, dude. We've had Brian Kelly, man. It's so boring and like we had some fire and some passion on the field, bro. We got really like, dude, Riley Leonard isn't that good of a quarterback. Notre Dame really doesn't. Name me a guy outside, and Jeremiah Love was injured for most of that Georgia game. Name me a wide receiver on Notre Dame's best wide receiver is a lacrosse player, Jordan Faison.
Yeah, he loved the team.
Okay, what are we talking about, dude? He just won the lacrosse national championship, and he's like, "Oh, Marcus Freeman gets his hands on him. Hey, how about we start playing some football, buddy? All right,
let's do it.
I'm down.
Why not?
You know, that never would have happened under Brian Kelly. Never. We've had some decent running games and some offense. We've put some NFL guys out under Brian Kelly. Can't hate. But like when it just came to a big game against a good team, it just we were not ever ready to play at that level. Marcus Freeman, 3 years in, youngest head coach. He's my age, Mercury.
Yeah.
He's 38 years old.
Dude.
And he's rallying the boys. Dude, at the biggest school,
Georgia.
Dude, at the biggest school, independent school. There was a figure that came out that every team that makes the college football playoff and wins a game gets $14 million. Well, if you're in a conference, you got to share that money. Our NIL bag just got $14 million richer.
Huge.
Marcus Freeman maybe get a couple transfers in here.
Oh, definitely.
Dude, this new era of college football might be looking nicey for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish
real
boys.
Nicey. We need that sound effect out there, dude.
For real.
We need that on.
Yeah, we need the Gruden got me feeling nicey.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
Fighting Irish hold Georgia Bulldogs to 66 rushing yards, dude.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Trevor Etienne, they just stopped giving him the ball. 11 carries.
Dude, they were dominating the line of scrimmage too. That Notre Dame defensive front. I mean, they had
it was awesome.
No answers. Georgia line had no answers.
I was so happy. Notre Dame 2 for 2 in the college football playoffs. I don't even need I'm so chill with the Packers, bro. You know what I mean? That like my team already won a playoff. I'm good. And I got a puncher's chance. I mean, when has James Franklin ever won a big game in his life?
Honestly, that's true. I mean, this is a semifinal matchup. Like it's
a little bit different. Drew Aller's pretty good. I don't think he's ever had a quarterback in there.
I think Aller
Singleton's a pretty good running back.
I kind of look at Aller and Riley Leonard. I have them in the same category of
I'm with you.
Where it's that guy, they're good if they don't have to complete a bunch of passes and if they can use their legs and be part of the run game.
Yeah.
When you need those guys to drop back and throw the ball 35 plus times a game, you're going to run into problems. I think you're in that same issue.
Yeah, you drop back. If Riley Leonard throws the ball more than 15 times, it's not good for
Dude, he had almost as many rushing attempts as he did completions in this game.
Yeah.
Riley Leonard only threw for 90 yards.
Right, that's what I mean.
I mean, they just...
And we controlled the game.
Dominated them on the ground.
Win by 13.
You know, and it was kind of sketchy. They were able to complete some deep passes down the middle of the field. They kind of opened up some gaps, but that pressure, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody says, the game would have been different, you know, if Carson Beck was in there.
Maybe don't necessarily know if that's true.
Man. That's why I can't really get it's like just real life. Like, hey, we played this guy. That's just a fact of reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would he been able to throw the ball a little bit? Because his timing and precision, when they're clicking, they're rolling pretty good. And I think that's where they could have beat us.
Pretty well,
don't let that pass rush get on top of you. I'm really surprised at how much Kirby Smart did get out coached by Mark. Like it was a large gap of like,
it seriously
team was more prepared to play in that game.
I don't even think Stockton played all that bad.
No,
though.
he made some
That's
really
what I mean.
nice 20, 30.
I don't know what that is.
Sorry about that. The Martians just sent us a signal or something.
Did we just get hacked, brother?
What is going on?
I don't know.
Right.
Can you be
but I was going to
now,
say, I mean,
no, you can't be crowned.
No, you cannot be crowned.
You
Kyle.
can't yet because we're not talking about pick'em yet.
Yeah.
So
wait until Wednesday, Kyle.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You don't win yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna
It's all
pretend
right.
like we still have a chance for at least another day. But yeah, only one sack from Georgia this entire game.
Their defensive front, man, was one of the best in the
Solid.
conference.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
solid.
I thought that was going to be what would win them this game.
I
I thought
agree,
they were
man.
going to be able to stop Notre Dame's run
I
and
agree,
force
brother.
Riley Leonard to pass the ball. And then you've got a All-American caliber safety back there, and Malachi Starks, and just a really good secondary in general. I thought Georgia was going to win this game on their defense, and their defense didn't play terrible, but they got drove on just enough where it was kind of problematic for them to stop. And then their offensive line, which was supposed to be really good as well, just got really dominated. They couldn't establish a run game. They couldn't pass protect.
It was not good.
It was a tough situation for Gunnar Stockton. I think all things considered, he came in and played pretty well.
You're good, brother.
Excuse me.
You're good.
One of the better parts of their team. Sorry if I'm a little stuffy, everyone. We're powering through some sickness
We're battling.
today.
The boys are battling.
Yeah, we don't take any days off until the final whistle. We're here with all the football for you.
That's right. We won't get anyone else that has to come in sick either. Don't worry.
No,
Don't worry. Studio's safe.
it was the what was that? The like special teams where they had the punt team out there. That play.
Oh yeah, it was fourth down, and Riley Leonard said that it was going to be the other way around, where we were going to have our offense out there, and then submarine them and run our punt team out there and try to draw them offsides. But Marcus Freeman, and dude, a set of Irish whiskey nutsack on that guy. Don't sue us, buddy. He ran the punt team out there,
Subbed
and
everyone out.
then with like 11 seconds left, he ran everybody off the
Just
field,
subbed an entire...
brought the offense out,
Yeah.
got them in that bunch on 4th and 2. So you're not sneaking it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? All you can do is try to draw them offsides and throw a deep shot down the boundary. So Georgia unprepared, not knowing, you know what I mean, the situation
They
of
were
it all,
ready.
where they're just trying to get you to jump offside, and they jump offside. They give us a free shot with 5 minutes left. That's pretty much game.
That was a winning play right there.
That
by
was
Freeman.
something I have
That
never,
was insane.
ever seen in my entire life at Notre Dame University.
That was insane.
And
Never seen anything like that.
We
Kirby
were-
Smart after the game saying, "Oh, we were told that you can't do that." NFL, NCAA official, like nobody's ever. Teams do this all the time. You just don't see it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those rare
Out-coached.
things you just don't see.
Out-coached,
Out-coached,
man.
the Irish had to overcome,
That's when I
the
saw it.
SEC getting that extra whistle too, because
Totally.
they had double the amount of penalties as
Yeah.
Georgia, and we're still able to win this. We were saying before
One of their
the-
only scoring drives, they only drove the field because of 3
Because of
holding
penalties,
penalties.
yeah.
The penalties.
they got
You know.
consistently bailed.
One
out
of
by
one of
penalties.
them was legitimate. There was 2 that were like,
Okay.
I see what we're doing here.
Okay.
There was one that was
Okay.
definitely legitimate. But
We got to make Georgia look a little competitive.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
yeah,
Notre
they
Dame.
can't get mopped up 30-3
Yeah,
in NOLA.
exactly.
Tragic events, game gets postponed and delayed. Notre Dame
Yeah.
prepared.
Come on now.
Both teams dealing with the same adversity, overcome that adversity.
I know Kirby Smart, when he heard about everything, was just immediately concerned it was one of his players too.
Tragedy struck New Orleans. He's like, oh God, let me check. Do I have any missed calls?
Bed check all my players.
Yeah, he's calling his staff. He's like, make sure everyone's in their hotel room, because those Georgia teams have had some real hooligans on them.
dude.
But we were saying Notre Dame was going to have to get behind their defense to win this one, and they did.
They did, man.
Dude,
I was proud
neither
of them,
team
dude.
was really too great offensively. I'm looking at the third down efficiency here. Notre Dame was 4 for 14. Georgia was 2 for 12. There
Yeah.
were 4 fourth down attempts, 1 by Notre Dame, 3 by Georgia. Nobody converted on fourth down.
Yeah.
So, and then special teams, that kick return to open the half.
Sick. I will say that has to be one of the slowest methodical kick return for
He
a
did
touch.
not look like he was going.
He
that
was
fast.
running as slow as I would have been.
Yeah, that was a real.
Fine.
It
slow one.
wasn't like he hit the open field and just burned. It was like, oh, I got to juke around 3 sets of human beings, and like still almost get hawked by the punter. or the kicker or whoever was kicking the ball off, and barely scraped by. Like it was, how that happened. That's not a Georgia team that they're downhill, they're physical, they're fast, and they just let this guy. I was like, what is happening?
This dude reached like a top speed of 10 miles an hour.
That's what I'm saying. He looked like a tight end. I thought the up man was like returning the kick.
It was like when that
it was a number 80 back there.
Dude, it was like
his number was 80.
It was like when they was Andrew Beck like returned to kick like that fullback.
Oh yeah.
In week 2.
Yeah.
This NFL season, they kicked the ball right to him and he returned it.
Not to get too off topic, did you see that interception by that Ravens defensive tackle?
Why do you kneel that?
He was like,
he
was like, the bus was out of gas, baby.
That's a top
I was like, shout out, big man, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out,
Michael Pierce.
He just hit the knees and said, "Nah, I'm good."
He's like, I've been playing all game. I ain't got the tank to take to house this. Yeah, you'll see that in top plays. One of the greatest moments from
we got some good big man plays
from this week.
Yeah, it was a good big man weekend.
Oh yeah.
All right, well,
we got another game real quick though.
I was gonna say this is a guy that's not really a big man. He's kind of looks shorter out there, but he plays like he's 6'8", 280. Cam Scadaboo. What a performance this guy gave us.
That game was so awesome.
Yeah, dude.
I was in the kitchen. Freaking out.
I don't think that was targeting though.
No.
You don't?
I don't think that was targeting, man. Just because the ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage, so people are free. You know what I mean? And he didn't lead with the crown or leave his feet. It was face mask to face mask. I understand the hit, is harder. I don't think that was. I think targeting, you have to like lower your head.
It's got.
I mean, I see what you're saying there. I am like, in my heart of hearts, convinced that if it was reversed, they would have called that. Even like
I think
even though I don't think that like the DB is just trying to make a tackle, and like this guy goes like because the ball
was tipped.
Yeah, like
so
the guy
everybody's alive. You're not.
The guy has to adjust. I'm just like, can you really tell me with like 100% sincerity that you don't believe that if it was the other way around, Texas wouldn't have gotten that call?
That's what I mean. Like, I think whatever they called on the field, like if they call that in favor of Arizona State, where that is a targeting, Arizona State wins.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Arizona State wins. But they reversed it. They didn't call it. They didn't call it on the field, but they reviewed it. And they were like, nope, there is no ruling for, and that was a pretty quick. I remember watching, it was a quick review. It wasn't even like, I think they saw once the ball got tipped and that he didn't lower his head and he just went face mask to, it was contact with the head or neck area, but I don't think it was malicious. I don't think it was targeting. I think it was an unfortunate, and it's a timing situation.
Yeah.
And the ball got tipped. Like, that's the thing. So, like, the players are live. So, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there because, I mean, what is the DB supposed to do? He's got to try to make a play on the ball.
It's bang, bang, man. Like, and you can't assume that if I don't hit him now, he catches it. Some Minnesota, you're coached for sure to, like, just end that guy. Like, take him out of the play.
Yeah.
You can't have that guy make some crazy play and then
keep the
game going.
Leave it up to the penalty if it's really going to be left up to that.
Yeah.
Don't let anything crazy
Arizona
happen.
State was one of my cashes over that weekend too. At they were getting 7.5 points.
What the way to storm back. I mean, it looked like they were going to be dead in the water.
I think I sent a message. I was like, this game's over with 5 minutes left. I just thought they were going to put their foot on the gas pedal. They never really did. And Brock Ewers, he's kind of mid.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super high on Quinn Ewers.
I don't know how much of it was a game management type of game because you were leading by a lot early.
They were up 17,
but it's like, bro, you had the ball in the red zone. You just like ran it 3 times. And then they were able to. You miss a field goal, they get the ball back, they go and score. Now it was like a 12-17 game or something like that. It was like an odd score game about third quarter before Arizona State really.
It was 17-8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then in the fourth quarter, it was 24-8, and you're like, oh well, this is over because Texas
and then
scores again.
Back,
and they were never able to get the running game going, which was huge. The shout out to the Arizona State defensive line. Only gave up 53 yards on the ground.
They played above their batting average, man.
Yeah, I mean, like that's how Texas Texas would get up by a lot, and then they would just run teams. They just run out the game. They get behind that O line and let Weisner and Blue take him home, and they weren't able to do that. Score 16 unanswered into the fourth, going to OT, and then they just weren't able to pull it out.
It was really just a tale
the
of two
overtime.
halves, though, too.
Yeah.
It's 510 total yards for Arizona State. They have 3 points at halftime. They had all that time of possession, all those points is from the whole other 30 minutes of football that they played.
Texas looked like the better team for the first 3 quarters, and then Arizona State kind of dominated them in the fourth. And then it was a very competitive overtime back and forth.
Yeah.
And this was a team that was projected to be last in the Big 12.
Right.
They had Texas a run for their money.
Going into the last month of the season, they had a 5% chance of making the Big 12 championship game.
Yep.
5%. Just to make the Big 12 championship.
They've been playing big games all season.
Crazy.
Good team.
They've been playing big games all season.
And I'm
Whether
not
or
going to lie,
not
this
the
game's
level
got
of
to
play.
be
True
NFL football player.
True freshman
We just gotta
quarterback,
pump the brakes
too.
on that. He's great for college. He's a fun story for college. He's
Yeah.
not an NFL football player.
I
He is
just-
way too slow. He will get ran down by a D tackle
Yeah, probably.
at the NFL level.
He's not.
We
not
need to
very
stop
fast.
lying to ourselves.
He's
you
just
know.
like a powerful guy. Like he is not an every.
He's a
down
bowling
back.
ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a fun player. He'll
I
get
think
a
he
shot
can like
somewhere.
he could find the roles like a backup. Kind of change a pace back.
Special teamer, man.
Yeah.
This new special teams, dude. There's gonna be a role for guys like that.
Oh, for sure.
Third down back, come and pick up the blitz and be a receiver out of the backfield, run the ball.
Oh, definitely.
Don't let the Lions get a hold of this guy because he's going to be. He had a passing touchdown.
Can I just tell you his stats in this game? So he had 30 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also led the team with 8 receptions for 99 yards, and he was 1 for 1 for 42 yards and a passing touchdown in this
Right.
game. I mean, this guy
Pretty much did everything.
was their entire offense.
Did everything.
Swiss Army knife.
And Sam Levitt, freshman quarterback,
Right.
played amazing.
Yeah.
This guy looks
giving
like
him a shot, dude.
This guy looks like an
Pretty good
AI
game.
generated tough guy character in the video game, and
Yeah.
like he
Playing
was
for the perfect coach. I got one quarterback who's not going to
Oh.
be in the transfer portal.
Dillingham is
Yeah.
How this guy? I love that Dillingham guy, dude.
he is a great coach
I love him. What a breath of fresh air that guy is to college football.
Oh yeah.
for real.
Freaking
I mean,
Auburn is
nobody-
Auburn is sad.
Talk shit. Hey, in the media after, take my L. Shake the hand. That's what happens.
This guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's literally said to the kid, sometimes you get got, yeah? And I was like, that's my guy. Him and
Futures,
Marcus Freeman are my 2 favorite coaches in
Yeah.
college right
futures bright for Arizona
You
State.
youngest
I mean,
guy.
this is
now.
like
100%.
this is a team building, motivating coach, bro.
Absolutely.
Like he's gonna get the best out of whatever players come there.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I think after the run they went on this season, like definitely gonna
Could
open
only
some
get
eyes in
better.
the transfer
Yeah.
portal. They're gonna get some
He's
NIL
wearing
money.
the freaking GoFundMe thing to the press conference. Like, hey, this is where you donate. You know, we need to keep our players. We need
Oh yeah.
this. This is what college football is. Donate to the squad. If you like us, if you watch. He literally said, like, if you won money on us, donate some of that money.
Right. We'll get you
You
some
know
more.
what,
You
you
know,
know what
Let's
I'm
do it.
saying? Like, I'm like, all right.
In Arizona, you got to think about it. Aside from the Diamondbacks, they play some all right baseball later in the season. Their pro teams aren't that good. A lot of Arizona fans like the college teams more. People are going to give their
Arizona
money to
State when
these
they had
teams,
Jake
dude.
Plummer, man, or Broncos legend.
People are going to give their money.
Jake the Snake was at that game too.
He
man.
was. I saw him, dude. Him and
Yeah.
him and Matthew McConaughey were dueling it out on Twitter.
right.
It was pretty. Those 2 guys, dude. You put a cowboy hat on Jake Plummer, dude. He could be a stand-in.
He could. He does it.
They kind of looked alike.
I
a
kind of
bit.
see it. Yeah. I know
I
what
was
you're
like,
talking
oh
about.
shit.
A
All
little
right.
bit.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, these schools are probably going to get. This school's probably going to get a lot of help from the community.
Future is very bright for
I
Arizona
think-
State.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think.
yeah. I
I'm
think it's only
excited
up
to see where
from
this program goes. I love a coach like Kenny Levitt. I mean, he's only going to get better as a passer. This guy is pretty elite with his legs. I mean, he picked up some crucial third downs using his feet, man. It was like not a super accurate game passing wise, 24-46. Whatever, freshman QB. But when like they needed him to like get a first down, like and he just had to take off and run. I mean, he made like 3 guys miss on 3rd and 13 and then got to the first down. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Longhorns, but the Arizona State was just a really fun team, a really fun story.
Well, Texas was supposed to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Arizona State kind of stole the show.
They made this really a game of it. Texas was supposed to just blow them out, right?
Blow them out. Yeah, they were.
It looked like that was what's going to happen, and then, here came the Sun Devils. They stormed back. I mean, you look at what Texas did. I'll give them some credit. Pretty good stat line of 20 to 30, 322.
They started that first half with some favorable field position too.
Yeah,
that I think they're starting at the 50.
I'm like, I don't know. You take Matthew Golden out of this game because he kind of, he was really like the guy for Texas. I mean, this dude Golden was making some incredible plays. This guy's a beast. 7 for 149 and a touch. A lot of like big catches when they needed them the most.
Dude, guys,
sorry.
They're in the first half. Texas scored 2 touchdowns and kicked a field goal. Right?
Yep.
One of those touchdowns was that 75-yard punt return, right? By Floyd.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Really, outside of that, take away that. They didn't really do much, dude.
The other scoring drive was 2 plays because they got it on like the
Arizona State's defense
State
really
40-ish.
hung in there. Yeah. I think they're going to have their hands full with Jeremiah Smith and Ohio State, man.
No, they definitely look.
I want to bet Ohio State, but I also want to bet Texas. I haven't bet that game yet.
If Scadaboo was doing that to you, like, because I mean, he was a lot of Arizona State's offense. I mean, Ohio State's probably going to run them out of the building.
They're kind of a wagon right now, dude. Which is
they're the hottest team.
Kind of crazy considering they got beat at home by Michigan without any.
That might have been the best thing for them.
Honestly,
that
needed to lose
pissed
that game.
them off. Then there's all this talk of Ryan Day. Is he going to get fired? Like, oh, it's another wasted Ohio State season. Yeah. This is a loaded roster here. From top to bottom. I think
$20 million NIL team.
Yeah, dude, that you needed a reality check before going into the playoffs. You know what? Good thing you got this reality check at home against Michigan.
That's true,
I know it sucks to lose to your rival, but you've come out and blown the doors off of 2 really good teams.
Yeah, they've had the hardest road so far.
They have
Tennessee and Oregon, and it's looked the easiest.
There's something to be said about these teams that have won their conferences and had to rest. They all went 0-4.
I was going to say, because Oregon, all these teams, they won their conference. When was conference championship Saturday?
They had to sit 3 weeks.
That was like December 10th. So you go from December 10th.
3 weeks.
Your next game is January 1st.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
3 weeks
on to sit.
I think that's too much time.
Yeah.
I think Oregon's got to be the biggest one we talk about, though, being the only undefeated team in college football. You proved me wrong. I thought there was going to be no undefeated teams this season in the regular season. They went undefeated just to get smacked by Ohio State.
Dude, they had negative
let
23 rushing yards. A lot of that came from
after I saw
Gabriel sacks.
What Ohio State did to,
Tennessee,
excuse me, thank you. I was like, yeah, I bet Ohio State. I was like, this team's gonna be coming in hot. This team's gonna be sitting.
Right, dude.
I'm like,
Oregon is sitting on their thumbs for 3 weeks.
Gabriel in a neutral site. Give me Ohio State, dude.
Yeah.
This isn't Eugene in late November. This is a turf game. You have nobody that's going to stop Jeremiah Smith.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
7 catches for $187.
If he could come out of the NFL, where he's going number 1.
Dude,
if he could come out of the NFL right now, he's going number 1 overall. Not even a debate.
Who, Jeremiah Smith?
Yeah, right now. No question.
Oh, he'd be the number 1
just
draft pick?
Draft pick.
You don't even mean like receiver?
Not even. He's the number 1 overall pick.
That's a bold statement.
After what these NFL GMs watched on that game.
That's true, though.
And just throughout the whole season.
And the draft is tomorrow. He's going 1 overall. He's going 1 overall.
Fair enough.
Screw that draft Nobody cares about that combine. That's just for everybody else after the first round. For depth, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th rounders. Dude, if this Jeremiah Smith could he's 6'4" at an NFL playing weight already. You know what I mean?
The Cats
17
dominated just in
Nobody.
the regular season.
They
dude.
can't.
Yeah.
What,
17 years
and
old.
he can't
by
come
now.
out for another 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
it's like I
he's
don't know
gonna
if
go
something's gonna
pretty high.
change. I don't know, but he's gonna go. I mean, if what's he gonna do? He's gonna dominate next season. I'm assuming.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And if he does,
He
it's
might be a
like,
Heisman candidate next season.
oh, it's maybe.
Definitely.
And then it's like, what is he going to do for his like junior year, 2026? He's just like not going to play any more games. Like, say he does win the Heisman National Championship, goes undefeated.
He
I'm
had
not playing.
He had 161 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Nuts.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. Wow. Against the college, I mean, like the number one team in the country. I mean,
The only undefeated.
that's where,
team
that's
in the
where I've
nation.
always debated. Like, all right, how is Oregon ranked number one? Is it this? Is it? I don't know. I think you could have made a case for coming into the season that Texas should be number one, but I see it with the SEC championship they lost, and it's like I don't know. I've just never like you give Oregon Texas's schedule. They have 4 losses. Anything close. Like they played Tulane.
Oregon didn't play Tulane.
I thought they played Tulane
No,
at the
they
beginning of
didn't.
the year.
I mean, they played Indiana. They played
Yeah.
Boise.
They played Idaho
play
and
Boise
then they
State.
played Boise State.
And
They
then,
did play Idaho. That's what I was thinking of.
Then who was their other like non-conference
Washington.
game? I don't remember.
I don't know, man.
They did play Ohio State, but that was a home game earlier in the year.
I just don't think they had anybody that, like, name factor wise, like, all right, like,
Yeah.
at least Notre Dame had Jeremiah Smith. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know anybody on Oregon
And they
outside
got-
of Dylan Gabriel, but he's just a transfer.
yeah.
I know Gabriel and Tez Johnson, the receiver, but like
Tez
aside,
Johnson.
their
That's right.
their defense isn't really like those
Yeah.
big name guys in college
it's not.
football.
They had a lot of explosive receivers, like in
Yeah,
Tez Johnson, Trayshawn Holden.
I have heard of Tez Johnson. I just
What's
was
the
missing
other
him.
guy's
Forgetting
name?
he played for them.
I
I
can't
only
even
know him
remember.
because Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, yeah.
That's actually Bo Nix's brother. Yeah, this was just a bad situation
high
for
school,
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to get Ohio State coming off of that win that they
It's
just
a
had.
buzzsaw, dude.
No.
Yeah,
That's a buzzsaw.
they're
coming.
probably going to win it all,
I would probably assume that they're
if I
gonna-
had to guess.
unless Texas pulls something out of it. I don't see Notre Dame or Penn State hanging with Ohio State. Didn't
No.
Penn State, Ohio State already play this year too? Did they play in the Big Ten this year?
No, I don't think
Yeah,
they
they
did.
did.
No, they
Ohio
did.
State
They
skipped
did.
each
Ohio
other?
State won. It was like that stupid 13-10
Oh,
game.
that's
Oh
it.
yeah, no, it was 20-13. It was
Yeah,
real low
20 to
scoring.
30.
It
but-
was 20. That was back in November 2nd, week 10. Penn
Yeah.
State,
Yep.
Penn State beat Ohio State. Or
So-
no, Ohio State beat.
Yeah, they
Penn
did.
State at Penn State.
So yeah, I think Ohio State, they've really hit their stride offensively. They're a stacked team defensively too. Obviously, Caleb Downs, all Big Ten. Just that whole team though is just incredible. Cody Simon, he had 2 sacks in this game. They had 8 total sacks this game.
Oh my
Just
god!
Gabriel was under siege, and they gave up 0 sacks as well. 8 sacks, 13 TFLs, 9 pass deflections in this one.
Jeez, dude.
And he threw it
Dominant.
41
That's
times.
crazy.
Threw it 41 times.
Right.
So he was just getting pressured every play.
Yeah.
That was
Well, when you don't have a running game, it's like,
right.
I don't know.
Because their running back had 7. Their leading rusher 7 carries, 14 yards.
Yeah.
Just brutal.
You
I
have to-
don't.
against Ohio State in college, it's almost opposite.
I
Or
really.
it's like you gotta
Oh,
be able
yeah.
to throw the ball in order to run the ball sometimes in college football.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Ohio
You're just
State's
not gonna
also got 2
line
guys
up.
that might be, or they're probably going to be draft picks this year because Quinshawn Judkins and Travion Henderson.
Henderson will for sure. He's
Definitely
he's
going.
a first round draft pick.
Yeah, I
He's a first rounder.
early seconds the latest I see that guy going. Like he is
Yeah.
a beast.
I think he was like 18 on Mel Kiper's big board they were showing on that game day thing before all the games and stuff with McAfee and Saban.
I mean, both of his touchdown runs, he like ripped off long ones.
Yeah.
What like 66 was his long on the day, and then he had like
Oh
another
my
from like
gosh.
40 something
Yeah.
yards out.
Jeez.
That he touched
He's
the
one of
ball.
those
He touched the
dudes.
ball 8 times, or he had 8 carries, and 2 of those went for touchdowns.
Touchdown.
8 carries, 94 yards.
He's a pretty explosive player.
He's gonna be good.
That sets up a Cotton Bowl matchup Friday, January 10th. Ohio State versus Texas. The semifinal to go
Bowl
to the
classic,
national
baby.
championship. Notre Dame Penn State is Thursday, January 9th in the Orange Bowl.
Bowl.
Where's the Orange?
Capital
Oh, the Orange
One.
Bowl's down there in Miami.
Yes. Yep.
Notre Dame's never really fared too well down there in Miami.
Do you guys want to cover anything from the Penn State Boise game?
I
It
mean,
wasn't a ton to talk about. It was just kind of like,
They kind of just neutralized Genty and leaned on
Yeah.
him in the offensive line.
I don't think like,
Dude, they outweighed them by 30 pounds per man, dude.
yeah, they
I
were just
saw
a
that,
bigger
I was like,
squad.
Come on.
To
way bigger
Boise's
squad.
credit, I don't
Kinda
think
hung in there.
the final score doesn't like really
They
reflect how
tried to make it
competitive
a rock
was.
fight in the first half. Yeah.
They really hung in there. I mean, they were only down by like 10, and it was like you just felt like if they could have just gotten a big play,
Yeah.
that could have really flipped something, but they just weren't able to get it going.
Yeah.
Madsen, dude, had to throw it 35 times. He threw 3 interceptions. It just you really
Happy New
didn't.
Year, Jay Kent. Shout out.
Yeah, thanks, Kent, for tuning in.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And the
Jet-
the two-headed monster run game for Penn State, dude.
That's gonna be.
Katron Allen and Nick Singleton were
Yeah,
just
Singleton's
tearing it
nice,
up.
man.
I like Singleton a lot. Katron Allen just came out of nowhere as well.
Yeah.
We were talking about it for a little bit on Wednesday, dude. He had a run. I think it was this 23-yard run. Dude, trucked the safety on Boise State back like 5-10 yards, just pinballed him.
Yeah.
This dude has power. Once he gets going, like you're not.
Well,
most of these guys can't stop
I'm
that.
probably
Well-
going to bet Penn State in this game.
What kind of concerns me with Penn State, I didn't think Drew Howler looked too good passing in between the 20s. I thought he was really good when he got into the red zone. That's where he threw all of his touchdowns, and I thought he was pretty accurate down there,
Yeah.
throwing into some tight windows. But it was like, man, when he had the
If you
like,
need like a 3rd and long where you
Right,
have
like-
to pass,
like it was like
the
it's
drive's
weird.
over.
You really expect the guy to be better outside the red zone passing where the field's not as condensed and shrunk. But
Yeah, it's
when they
usually
got too-
harder to pass.
yeah, when they got
against the red
too
zone.
too spread out like that, I felt like he wasn't all that accurate. I mean, he was only 13 to 25.
It's like a positive and a negative at the same exact
Yeah.
time. It's
They-
like really
Yeah, caveman.
the situation that he's in, like it could be bad, but also like if
Yeah.
you're just leaning on the run, man.
I think this
Who
game,
cares?
Penn State and Notre Dame are just two teams that are very similar in the fact that their QB, they want their QB to be able to use his legs just as much as he uses his arm.
Notre Dame.
They want to run the
only
ball a lot and
averages
play behind their
4.6
defense.
yards a play on offense.
What was that, Jimmy?
Buddy, we're only averaging like 4.6 yards per play on offense.
Holy shit.
But we have like, dude, we have like 30 touchdowns of like 40 yards or more. But we're
Oh my
only-
God.
but we're only averaging. Oh man, that's kind of crazy, dude.
All right, well let's do some
I'm
predictions.
probably
So
gonna bet Penn State, brother.
are they favorites? What's the
They're the
line? on
under.
that?
I'm only gonna bet them because they're the underdog,
Minus.
and it's like
two.
I
What's
have
your
a,
line? ESPN spread is -2.5.
I
Yeah, it
got
says 2.5.
it's 2 right now on MGM, but you can shop around. There's other sports books you can find 2.5s. I don't think that spread's going to go up or down anymore, but I'm just looking outright money line. When a game's like that in college football, if you think Penn State's in the cover too, they're probably going to 3-2-1 kick a field goal. I don't think it's going to be that, man. I really think Penn State has a better offense than we can kind of maintain. And because I'm a degenerate and I always bet my teams to win the championship anyway, preseason. So I got 50-1 at preseason for Notre Dame to win the national championship. And I think I put like $2.50 on it. So either way, I can win $100.
Okay,
So
there you go.
right now the cash out is closed, obviously, because we just beat Georgia. And so they're like, nope, because if they're going to at least give me double my money.
Yeah.
If they offer me a $10 cash out and I bet $2.50, I'm going to take that cash out and take that $10. You know what I mean? And so if I bet Penn State at plus 110 on the money line, now I got Notre Dame still alive if they win to win the national championship.
There
So
you
when
go.
they do, so either way, you know, that's kind of like a betting breakdown that I'd like to get into. Sometime hedging like that, you know, you get into like a long-term investment, hedge it back the other way because you have better odds. Either way, you survive in advance in this situation like Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If they win, I keep going. I'm live.
You made the Notre Dame bet before any of the
Any
season
other
even happened.
This season even happened.
So
and I
you don't
bet
even
as soon as
know.
it came out.
You don't even know what's going to
I'm
happen.
a DJ. I'm doing it with the Packers. I got 25-1 and 17-1 with the Packers.
So there you go.
You know what I mean? And we're in the playoffs. We're giving ourselves a shot. So now I'm going to be betting every other team because either way, I'm going to be moving on. And if my team loses, I cash and I still make a profit.
You win something.
So it's like, I only bet
Still have something
$2.50.
Yeah, if it's $2.
So I'm gonna bet a 10 spot at plus 115 on Penn State, and I'm gonna win $25 if they win. If they don't, I keep that 250 alive, and I have a chance to win 100.
Boom. There you go.
And $2.50. That's safe.
I've already forgot about it.
You're
It
betting
was like the
enough
last
money.
of a like an
Yeah.
$8 FanDuel card that I
Yeah.
had.
He's betting
You know what
enough
I mean?
money there that he can afford to
You
lose.
can
and
lose it.
that's the best advice I can give. on
Always
betting,
do
dude.
that, boys. Like
Just-
always bet what you can afford to lose. Bankroll management.
Yeah.
I have unit sizes where if I'm betting futures, it's low like that, but I'm getting good odds. So I can hedge it and make a profit throughout the season. Okay. And then with my unit sizes per game, if I'm betting a spread, it's $5. If I'm betting a money line, it's $10. Player props are like $5 and less. If I'm doing parlays, depends on what I'm getting odds for parlay. But typically, most of my typical unit sizes are usually $5 or $10. That's it. And if I bet 5 games a day, that's $50. You go 3 and 2, you make about 60. So you make $10. You make $10 profit.
That's true.
You make $10 extra a day. I don't know. It adds up.
Yeah.
Bam. There you go, people.
Yeah.
Hedge your bets.
I'm
Little
going
best
Hedge
bet
your
break.
bets.
game, though, man.
Sometimes hedge your bets, though. Sometimes hedge your bets. Sometimes. But
Okay.
that's a topic for another day. We'll get into it.
I'm going with the Irish, though, man. Come on.
I appreciate
I'm picking
it.
the
I
Irish, too.
appreciate it,
Yeah,
boys.
I'm
I
going with
appreciate
them.
I just
it.
think their
I
team's
wanted
better
to, obviously,
defensively.
I'm going to be going for him, but
Abdul Carter's banged up.
Money.
I don't know what his status is, but that's like Penn
Jeremiah
State's.
Love might be out, boys.
Penn State's missing their
And if
best
he's out,
defensive player. Penn State would be missing their best offensive player. I just think Riley Leonard ran the ball really well.
he
though.
did, man. He did.
And I think if Carter doesn't play, like that, he's going to be crucial in shutting down those like read options and quarterback runs.
I just don't know if Penn State's like really, since Ohio State really played somebody that's going to just line up like, damn the torpedoes, we don't care. We're just going to,
Exactly.
we're
Going
just
up
going to
their
tee
full
off
schedule,
and
dude.
just, we're physical 5-man pressure, zone defense in the back end
Well, the
with that man pressure up front.
best
Pretty
team,
difficult.
best team after Ohio State November 2nd was Oregon in the Big 12 championship that they lost 45-37.
That's
Who's that?
kind of where I'm at. Is like their
Who's
de-
that?
Penn State.
Oh, Penn State.
Their defense could struggle against like a team that can be explosive offensively, and I think Notre Dame
don't think-
has. They have that possibility in the run game. I think even with Jeremiah Love out, Jadarian Price is still
That's
pretty.
my guy, dude.
He's a pretty good.
He was
running
the
back,
starter
too.
last year, and then I think we realized about halfway through the season is Jeremiah.
But hey,
Love
Love
kid
is pretty freaking
yeah.
good. Yeah,
and he's
that's-
and he's a freshman.
oh wow,
He's not going anywhere, boys.
that's big.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, 2
right,
Warriors.
it's
well,
gonna be.
I'm
And this
locking
Price
in.
kid was a starter last year, and he's a sophomore incoming this season. Nope, actually, you're the backup. This is the guy. Give him number 4.
I'm taking Notre Dame 20-16 over Penn State.
I like it, Mercury. I like it.
It's going to be a defensive game,
I
a little
like
bit
it.
more low scoring. There's going to be some drama. I like Notre Dame 20-16.
I think
here.
so the total's 44.5. Do we have an opinion on that? Like over under? I think it could be an under game.
That could
Oh,
be
most definitely.
Definitely an under.
I think it'd be an under game.
Unless we're going to overtimes. There's no other way.
16-13 knockout, drag out. I think it's gonna be a rock fight. Personally,
It is. It's going to be
I really do.
like this is one of those games where like both
Who has
teams
the
are
ball
playing to
last?
like protect the ball and win the field position battle. So
Right.
it's like you're
Yeah.
like whoever
Yeah.
gets more more short fields like forces a turnover or something. I just think Notre
Watch,
Dame's got a better ability to do that.
watch Marcus Freeman just come out chucking and ducking the freaking football, dude.
That would be
I can
like,
see him doing that too.
That would be
All
awesome.
the, everybody's talking about it. It's gonna be, they're gonna do this and they're gonna run it,
Damn the scouting report.
and just let Riley Leonard, Joe Montana this thing,
Right.
with the freaking lacrosse player at wide receiver. No big deal.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right. On to the Cotton Bowl. Ohio State, Texas. Who do we like here? I'll let you go
I gotta
first, Jimmy.
I gotta
See.
go Ohio State -6. I mean,
Take 'em on
6
the point.
points is like it's a touchdown game. I know it's a lot. I mean, Texas has played pretty good. Their defensive line's pretty good. I think they're going to be able to hang in the trenches. Maybe Ohio State might have some difficulty with that pass rush from Texas. Slow down. What's the quarterback's name from Ohio State? It always blanks me.
Will Howard.
Will Howard, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen you put pressure on him. He's made some bonehead mistakes.
Definitely.
In some games, Michigan pressured him, threw the ball away a lot.
Yeah.
If Texas can get the ball out of his hand and just sort of rotate coverage to Smith's side, I really like Texas's linebackers playing in space. I think they're going to run down any tight end that they try to use. Texas's offense, explosive. I think they're able to hang in this game. I kind of like Ohio State, though, -6.
I pick here.
On a confidence level, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10.
I'm pulling a Marcus Spears. Texas wins by a little if Archie Manning plays.
Oh, man.
That's my prediction.
Caveman.
Otherwise,
Off the
Ohio
top.
State's going to roll
Off
them.
the top
Otherwise,
rope,
Ohio
dude.
State's going to roll them.
That's
Off the top
a valid.
rope, dude.
I think I'm gonna go Ohio
You play
State
to win the
38-27 here.
Texas will keep it
Playoffs?
close. This will probably be a good game.
Here's the thing: you're talking about how Howard gets a little frazzled with pressure, but like Quinn
Right,
Ewers has
Quinn
also
is-
shown
Quinn
more.
Ewers
He gets-
for sure.
panicked under pressure, and like Ohio State's D
Yeah.
line is just on fire right now. They absolutely
true.
abused Dylan Gabriel. They sacked him 8 times.
Yeah.
Like this is Ohio
Massive.
State's firing on all cylinders versus Texas just barely escaped against a team that they were like,
Now they
2-touchdown
have a game.
favorites over.
Now
you
they
know?
have a game though against Arizona State. They knocked the cobwebs off. Now they're back in a game week. Neutral site.
Yeah.
So they're back in the flow.
I
They
just
kind of
you
got
know,
smacked a little bit. They had
the-
to wake up.
this is the team with the most
Ohio State
momentum.
I'm with you. That's a big.
They're just
key
on
for
fire.
it.
I just don't know if Texas is going to have the ability to put them out. I definitely think this could get high scoring. This is 53.5. This might be an over game though. Texas has got the ability to be explosive. I think they're
Could
going to
be
hit
an
a
over
couple
game.
of deep plays. I just think Ohio State's going to have more.
Put in Archibald, man.
Put them in.
Put in Archibald.
That's how I feel.
That's how Jimmy
That's
feels.
how I'm gonna feel if they don't sub in Archie Manning,
Not for real.
because Quinn Ewers is gonna get sacked 5 times in the first half,
Oh,
and
man.
if there's not a change in quarterback at halftime, it's gonna be a bad day.
You really want to see Archie out there, don't you?
Honestly,
do.
I kind of do, just because it's a lot more hype. Sorry,
I
Quinn
just think he
Ewers.
gives their offense more versatility with
Way
his,
more.
with his
He can move.
athleticism.
I'm with you.
I feel like he'll be able to
I'm with
utilize
you.
the pocket a little bit better in pressure than Quinn Ewers.
You know what the problem is? Texas gave Ewers an NIL bag, and they got
Yeah, they got to let him play.
they gotta let him play.
He's had a lot of injury this year too, so
Yeah.
kind of hinders.
But
his
you watch
ability a
Manning
little
though
bit.
flick that ball around, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got some Lamar Jackson in him, dude.
He does a little bit. I mean, like he can throw on the run, take off. Like he's just dangerous. Like he's at a wrinkle that it's hard for a defense to plan for. You know?
Yeah.
it's an exciting.
you're like, what do you-
Everybody's live. He'll throw it to anybody.
Yeah. And you're like, what are you gonna do? You gonna commit to when he runs because he can just stop all of a sudden and just throw it over your head,
He'll be looking
burn you that way.
He'll be looking front side and then throw it backside to the slant coming on an in breaker. Like no big deal.
Right.
That's why
I'm like,
Or
this
why
is
he's
this is just like dude. He was a high schooler last year.
that's why he needs to play. He's just playing football.
you don't keep eyes on him. Oh,
You know what I mean?
he just takes off for 60 yards down the sideline.
He doesn't
Little
need to have
Lamar.
some big name receivers, dude. He's going
Right.
to throw to the third string
Anybody.
in this random formation.
And
Who
guess who he's been
cares?
throwing to while he's been in Texas? The second,
The
third,
freaking
fourth.
backups.
So when those guys get in the game, when Archie's in there,
Those are his
he's
guys.
gonna have some chemistry.
Those are
man.
his guys.
Yeah.
It could be lethal for college football next year when because
I-
Archie's a star. I think it's all presumed, you know. So it's like, all right, because next year he can go to the draft after next season if he wants to.
Mhm.
He reclassified.
He sat twice.
Yeah,
Sat 2 years.
and you only got to be there 3.
Interesting. All right.
He redshirted last year, but you're still counts as a year of eligibility this season. his actual true freshman year. And last season, when he was a redshirt freshman, he was technically a high school senior.
Yep.
He's 17 years old last year. He just turned 18 at the beginning of this season. And next year he can be drafted at 19 years old.
Just wild. Yeah. I'm excited to see him
Sky's the
watch him
limit
play.
for this kid, dude.
They're gonna
All
let
that experience, bro.
They're gonna let Ewers play in this game, but I think
It's a lot of experience watching that, dude.
yeah, Archie's gonna be a stud for sure. All right,
Yeah.
well that's the college football playoff breakdown.
Who do we
We're
got going
looking
to
forward-
so the national championship is officially Ohio State.
Notre Dame.
Oh,
That's my
man,
prediction.
boys.
Ohio
Woo!
State, Notre Dame.
Dude,
If Archie
Pinch me,
plays,
boy.
if Archie
Pinch
plays
me.
Texas, Notre Dame.
if Notre Dame goes out there and blows the doors off of Penn State, you're gonna have to duct tape my mouth shut. I might not shut up. I might
I
not
know.
shut up on that Monday football frenzy. January.
We're gonna
whatever
unplug
that
your
is,
mic
the
and just let you
13th.
think you're
Be
you're
like,
talking.
yeah,
But,
the
Yeah,
13th.
dude. Yeah, dude.
oh,
can't
Drop your
wait, man.
predictions
I'm
in the
about it.
comments, everyone. Who do you
yeah.
got?
Yeah, who
Drop
guys
your
got?
your CFP semifinal
Notre Dame, Penn
predictions.
State, Orange Bowl, January 9th,
Don't forget to
Cotton
call
Bowl.
into the show too.
Friday, January 10th.
We'll be
Ohio
getting
State,
into
Texas.
NFL soon, so if anyone has a
Yes,
Week
sir.
18 trash talk about their
Yeah.
NFL teams,
I'm ticked off about my Green Bay Packers, but
We'll get
Top-
into that in a
we
little
got
bit.
in the top 10 for picks, man. We're not picking in the teens. 'cause
Yep.
we
Yeah,
need a lot of
congratulations,
players.
caveman. Yeah.
We need a lot of players.
we need everything.
So
We'll get into
we're
all
gonna
that.
we're gonna hit a quick break here. When we come back, Week 18 breakdown. We're gonna have a look ahead to the NFL playoffs, and we're gonna get into a little bit of the draft as well. A lot of good stuff to come, so stick with us, folks.
I'm about as far as I'm going. Welcome home. I'm sure your family and all your friends are going to be glad to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Walking these old dirt road side streets, looking at the sights and reminiscing, wondering what's changed since I've been gone. I'm coming home. It's like yesterday that I left here. Time flies and now it's been years, but I know this is where I belong.
Take care, boss.
I'm coming home. Coming home to the family, friends and the memories, the ones I love and the ones I regret. Coming back to make a new life, built on the one I left behind. Thank God it wasn't over yet. We're not made to live this life alone, so I'm coming home. Fear almost stopped me from returning. Thought others won't forgive the bridges burning, but I'm planning to rebuild what is gone now that I'm home. And I know it won't be the same that it was, but that's okay, 'cause I will always love this place and the ones who call it home. Yeah, that's my home. Coming home to the family, friends and the memories, the ones I love and the ones I regret. coming home.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Are looking live.
Welcome
at
back.
Military Broadcast Radio. We are your boys in the studio till the final whistle. Caveman to my left, Mercury HG to my right. Broncos fan, resident Broncos fan. Caveman Saints fan, lowly Saints fan, still owes me about 375 push-ups.
Dude, actually, I have 120 left.
Nice.
Did 20 of them. Didn't record it, so I'm gonna have to do 360 total because
You got to make up those 20. You didn't record it.
I didn't record it. I
Sweet little
stood
montage
up.
video coming out about that later.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I stood up and I was like, oh, I didn't record it. And I was like, dang.
So
It was right
got
after
the
work
workout
too,
ended.
so I was tired.
Yeah.
It was like, man,
Banging out 20 after a job, dude. It's forearms are burning.
Yeah.
Forearms are burning.
holding trays of dishes all
Yeah,
day,
dude.
man.
Forearms are burning.
That's tough. That's a rough one.
Yeah.
We respect you for doing it. All right. Well, we got NFL
Doing
Week
it for my
18.
It's the last week of the season, boys.
It flew by.
What a
man.
ride.
I cannot
What a
believe
fun
we're
ride it's
already
been
to the
this year,
playoffs.
guys.
So
It's been a
sad.
fun ride with it this
It
season.
really has.
It really has.
We've
been
had
a
a great
fun ride.
time
Really good
covering all the
season.
football action.
Pick'em was
Fun
fun, even though I
mission.
didn't do any pick'ems this week.
Yeah, I didn't even put my picks in.
I
I'm
didn't
an
These
idiot.
guys kind of get conceded to Kyle. I don't
I'm
think
an
I
idiot.
wasn't
I
able to catch
conceded.
him.
I conceded.
Mr. I Know Nothing absolute came in like joined late and then just skyrocketed to the top. I think he's got the best winning percentage
Nice.
of anybody.
Shout out to
Uh,
HG for you fought it out for the podcast. You made
I did.
You made the three of us. You
I was-
kept
I did my
us in
best
it.
to-
Made the
You
whistle
know?
boys look good.
You know,
I
did my
checked out
best to
after
say it.
about week 13 where I'm like, I had that. I just picked all upsets basically, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, all favorites won, so I'm basically done.
Yeah. I got
picked
I
the
got
Saints
I
to
went
win
like 5
every
and
week.
11 one week.
I was hanging in
Yeah.
there and then I got too cute like the final 2 weeks of the
Final two,
season and I
yeah.
was like, well, that'll
that.
be
Yeah.
that concludes the 2024 season, folks.
Exactly.
Thank you for watching. All right,
Yep.
well, let's do a recap of some of these scores this week. And so on Saturday, Ravens had to just win to lock up the 3 seed in the NFC North title for the second year in a row. They did just that, blowing the Browns out
Dude,
at
Lamar
home.
Jackson's MVP. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That solidified it for me. I understand why Josh Allen might win it. He's still the favorite
yeah,
in the betting market. It's like not even close.
I think it's like because Lamar got it because he was on the higher seeded team last year, and it's like it should have been really Allen last year because Josh had like
Right.
almost 50 total touchdowns on the season,
Yeah.
and
But
now
his
it's like
record
this
didn't.
year, you know, Lamar's gonna have nearly 50 total touchdowns.
Yep.
And
it's
Allen's
close.
I
dude.
mean,
It's
Allen's
so
still-
close.
Allen still had a lot, but like he's got like 12 rushing touchdowns, like 10 of those are like QB sneaks. Like
Let us know
Not
in the
too.
comments, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson for NFL MVP.
they're both deserving. I just think this year Lamar's had the better
I got to
season.
give
where
it to
it's like,
Lamar. I can
last
see
year,
why
Allen
the
had-
voters would give it to Josh Allen. Great point you just made, like a lot about last season with him.
yeah,
I could see that. And I've been hearing this crap, dude. I hate when people say, "Oh, it's voter fatigue." Like these
What?
people don't give a crap.
What?
What are we even talking about?
I know.
It makes no
Literally.
sense.
What?
Like it's just like the AP people voting on the Associated Press voting on the MVP, and then everybody just rides with it. Like, why are they the authority?
I think it should be.
I
the
think it should
fan
be the
vote.
players and the coaches voting for the MVP. These freaking guys know who the MVP is.
Players and coaches.
These freaking guys know who they are. They do the NFL top 100 very rare. I mean, most times the MVP isn't the number one player in the league.
That's
No,
true.
I don't necessarily need to say that the best player needs to be MVP.
I do think they
But at
do
the same
factor in
time-
the playoffs into the top 100.
They do.
That's
Which
true.
is
That's
yeah, the
It is
MVP
done
is
in
a
the
regular
postseason
season
after the
reward.
Super Bowl.
But
It is, yes. Good point.
I agree with you. Players and coaches, there should like honestly they should kind of let fans vote on
The
it. Like
people who play.
let's.
Well, we got the Pro Bowl.
That's true.
And
but-
Rashawn Gary's a Pro Bowler somehow with 4 sacks this season.
That's
Take it.
And then
interesting.
somehow, you know,
Okay,
Brian
yeah.
Thomas Jr. isn't a Pro Bowler, and it's like, well, he's starting on
Nico Collins got in over him. I'm like,
you
I
know,
like Nico.
Like
Brian
Nico
Thomas Jr.
Collins, yeah,
Fourth
man.
in the
Come
league in
on.
receiving
ATM
yards.
machine, right?
Yeah.
Fourth in the league in
Top
receiving
10,
yards.
like I think he
Come
was
on.
also top 5
As a
in
rookie.
NFL touchdowns.
Yeah.
At his position too.
He's a beast.
At his position.
He should have been a Pro Bowler. Justice for BTG.
You know what I mean? But he
BTJ.
plays in Jacksonville, and the record's bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, let's put, you know, DJ Moore in. Like, no. But that's fan voted. The
Yeah.
Pro Bowl is.
Well, I think we'll get into the Pro Bowl some more on the Wednesday show.
Yeah.
It's certainly some interest.
It's gonna
I'd
be
rather be an
it's
all
not
pro
that good.
because that's an
gonna-
incentive. If you're an all pro, that's an
Yeah,
incentive.
that's
That
true.
is way better.
I'd
but-
rather be an all pro.
Back to the games this weekend. So Ravens take care of business, although Lamar was the first person to say we definitely could have played a little bit better there, especially in the first half, but they end up winning 35-10. The Bengals 19-17 win in
Get their win.
Pittsburgh. Steelers
On a 4-game losing streak now.
on
brother.
a 4-game losing streak
Not
might
how
be
you
in
wanna
some
be.
trouble.
Yeah.
We'll jump into that in just a minute
Not
here.
how you wanna go in the
Panthers and
playoffs.
Falcons, honestly, one of the most entertaining games, maybe the most entertaining game this weekend. Overtime shootout. The Panthers win it on a
Undefeated in 2025.
yeah.
Carolina Panthers.
they are
Love to see
Congratulations.
the Falcons lose.
win the game
Bryce Young
44-38.
and Penix Jr. throwing cruise missiles out there.
Yeah,
Some
he's
No
haymakers.
defense. Defense didn't wake up.
Neither team's
Neither
defense.
team's defense
No
said
defense.
we're going to
Dude.
be doing anything.
We all called the Falcons crazy at the beginning of the year for drafting Michael Penix Jr. I mean, this looking like genius now with how Kirk fell off, and this guy, he looks like a stud. I mean, he's
Not bad.
firing some
Smart
heat-seeking
idea
missiles.
to
Yeah,
draft your guy when you have your guy.
that's a
Denver
good
Broncos.
Just gotta get him.
take him.
Go
Why
get him.
not?
I honestly, looking at the trajectory of Atlanta's season, I kind of just wish they didn't pay Kirk Cousins all that money and just
Right.
They just
took
drafted a
Penix and
quarterback.
yeah,
Go sign a pass rusher.
use that money to get like a premier pass rusher. I don't know, crazy idea.
Crazy idea.
They wouldn't do that.
Get sure up your secondary a little bit, whatever. Commanders mostly backups playing against Cowboys backups.
They got into a rock fight.
Yep, 23-19 win helped them
Right,
sure up a
correctly.
6 seed spot, so they have a
Trey
date.
Lance started this game, guys.
They
Yeah,
did, yeah.
He honestly didn't play bad. 244 yards, 20 for 34.
Jimmy, cover your ears because another team that's undefeated in the year 2025,
Oh,
the
no.
Chicago
Oh,
Bears,
No.
beating the Green Bay Packers, who
again.
were kind of barely trying. Had Malik Willis in the game after Jordan Love came in for one drive. Was it one drive or two drive that Love came in? That Love
He
came
played
in.
like 2 or 3. He played
What?
like the
Yeah.
first few.
Jay Love, how many? He didn't even really play that many drives,
Oh, well, he
First few.
hit his funny bone. He kind of landed awkwardly.
and they were like, "Yeah, let's just pull him."
We're just going to pull him. Christian Watson already blew his ACL on a non-contact injury.
Yeah, they
and
gave
Josh
Josh Jacobs the ball
Six
six times.
and he
Yeah.
had like 45 yards
So-
and a touchdown.
I'm gonna
Yep.
look, Bears. You guys beat the Packers, but the Packers were barely trying. And
We're
you guys
not
had
even-
to beat them with the last second.
And we had
field goal.
5 starters on defense out,
Yeah.
and Keyshawn Nixon, our kick returner, is
Barely
again playing
won by
number
2.
1 DB.
Right.
Barely
And
won
DJ
by
Moore
2.
does absolutely nothing on him.
Took a
And-
last second field
Hey,
goal.
he
still.
also fumbled the ball to give the Packers the ball to go back down there
Mhm.
and kick a field goal to take the lead.
yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I mean, why our defense was playing prevent, with 50 seconds. Matt LaFleur, when we had the ball, we snapped the ball with 24 seconds left on the play clock with 1 minute and 5 seconds left. We run that thing all the way down. There's only, we should have kicked that ball. They were saying on the broadcast, we should have only, when we kicked that ball, we should have kicked it with 35 seconds left on the clock. But we called a timeout to stop our own clock when we had the lead. And then instead of going for it
I
on
don't
4th and
know.
2 in
Couldn't-
positive
couldn't
field, we
tell
kick
you.
a field goal and we kicked the field goal. You know what I mean? Like, I think if this was a winner-in situation,
Yeah.
Jordan Love did say post-game, he was like, I would have gone back in. I was fine. After about halftime, he's like, I hit my funny bone with it freezing cold. I landed on the ground and my pinkies just went numb. That's what he said.
It was a crazy play too. Like he
Yeah.
dodged a sack,
Yeah.
was getting thrown on his back, and then tossed it up to the running back.
Yeah.
It just
To our
it
special teams running back, by the way.
Yeah, it
just
was
didn't really
You know,
matter
it was
for
like-
them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it
I'll
is. But
say-
now we go, and I will say, dude, like after I'm a nerd. I watch all the in the locker room interviews, post game, week leading up, who were playing, both coaches. Matt LaFleur has been talking about this rematch with the Philadelphia Eagles for a long time. He's
gonna be a
always
good one.
mentioned it to like be a motivating factor throughout the season. Like, hey, we just got to get to that game in Philly. Get to that game in Philly. This is what we're playing for. We're playing for something bigger. Rashawn Gary's mentioned it. He's like, we want to go to their building and play them when it matters.
It's going to be the best version of the
And-
Packers team I think we've seen all year.
Yeah.
I hope, man.
Hopefully.
I don't like
Hope
how
so.
we're going into the playoffs on offense,
I'm
where we were
still-
kind of humming there for a little bit, even without Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson, because they're both bad. They've been snake bitten their entire careers, really, and we can never seem to get those two guys on the field for a consistent period of time together. And Jaden Reed had a fumble in the Chicago Bears game. That's one of the leaders, like a second-year player that you're gonna have to rely on. And
Yeah.
he's not going in the playoffs playing all that well. Josh Jacobs is probably your stalwart, but you got to assume Philly is just gonna try to line up and and stop that and see, okay, play a straight back, man. Hey, make
Yeah.
Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed beat us with Quinyon Mitchell, who's playing pretty good football.
All right. And we'll get into that more in
Yeah.
depth as we get into all these playoff matchups. Continuing on with our recap of the week. Texans backups in, still beating the Titans 23-14. Tennessee now on the clock with the number 1 overall draft
Number
pick.
one
They
pick.
trading that fucker? Or excuse me, sorry.
Honestly,
bad.
I don't know.
I think they got to take a QB here, man.
Yeah.
Will Levis is
I
like
think you can trade out of that pick and still get the QB though.
Hmm,
I don't think you need to draft a quarterback 1 overall.
I think they might just do it though, just to get
Yeah.
the guy they want.
Just later
I
on,
mean,
they're
you don't
kinda
need to
running
draft
out of
Cam Ward 1
options.
overall to get Cam Ward.
I
Shador Sanders isn't going. Travis Hunter, somebody's moving up for him.
probably
I'm trading that pick because you need way more than just a quarterback. Give
Who-
that quarterback a team and wait till
trade it
next
to
year.
the Patriots. I mean,
No. Look who's been in the new. Guess who needs to make a move and they already fired their coach. They got to make a move.
the Patriots.
Las Vegas Raiders are trading up to the number 1 overall pick to get Travis Hunter. Hell or high water.
I think the Raiders are going to take a quarterback. I think you're wrong
they're gonna
there.
take a
That
quarterback
you can
too.
you can put Travis Hunter on that team, but when they played
I
the
think they
entire
need both.
season, you had a
They do need both.
you had
They're
a
getting-
third string quarterback starting for you in every single
Shador
game.
Sanders is a 2nd-round quarterback who's going to get traded back up into in the 1st round by the Oakland Raiders.
I think
They're
you're wrong on
getting
that.
getting both.
Mm,
Deion Sanders is going to make that team get both those kids.
I wouldn't be so sure that. I don't think
There's going to be a team
I think they're
that's still
both
gonna
top
tra-
5
trade
picks.
up. I think if you're the Tennessee Titans, you can trade that pick, still get the quarterback you want, and add to your team for the future. Because there's not one position that you can't say that Tennessee doesn't need. A quarterback's not going to, you're going to be trash next year regardless.
defense was pretty solid.
You have a
At
rookie
least to start
quarterback.
the year.
You draft your first, you have nothing on offense.
They got Tony
I
Pollard.
know they
Don't
got that. Come
disrespect
on.
Tony Pollard.
You know what I mean? They're going to win 5 games next year, and they're going to be absolutely awful, and they're going to be picking in the top 8 again.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so like a quarterback changes absolutely nothing 1 overall. So my thing is you trade that effort, you get all those picks, you acquire all that talent, maybe develop that talent, and then next year when you are bad and Arch Manning is maybe coming out in the draft, you're in position to either trade up.
Can I counterpoint though?
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Taking a quarterback, put him on the team with low expectations, and you're like, just go out there and play, kid. There's no, it's not like Caleb Williams. He came into Chicago, high expectations because they're like, oh, we built this roster
Built
for
this
him,
team around him.
and
Got
then
this
it was a complete disaster and
dumpster
fiasco.
fire.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, like,
Freaking clown show.
and like you look at like Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels, where it's like they came in and it's like there's not a ton of high expectations. Nobody had these guys projected to be very good. They're like,
still had a decent team though.
I mean-
Is Sean Payton in Tennessee?
huh? No, I'm not saying that, but
I mean,
I'm just saying like people looked at their rosters and were like, well, there's huge holes there. These, I think the people are at the Commanders is like a 6-7 win team. The Broncos is like a 4 or 5 win team.
their win total was 7.5.
All right.
They're 500.
Yeah, and they're
Expect to be 500.
both of those teams are in the playoffs because those guys got to come in and not play with a ton of
I
expectations.
don't
on
think
them.
everybody's like that though, and I think team circumstance.
Yeah,
Houston's also.
I
gonna
just
get
think that's better for a young QB where it's like just go out there and play football, just let it rip, make mistakes. You're playing with house money.
So then, who are you picking 1 overall that you can't get at 5?
I don't know why you think Shador is suddenly going to magically drop out of the top 5.
I
Him or Cam Ward.
think it's going to naturally happen.
There's a lot of
There's a
quarterback
l-
hungry teams this year.
Is
The
there?
Giants, the Raiders, the Titans,
Raiders are at 6.
the
Titans
Jets probably.
Where are the Jets picking?
I don't know. Maybe the Saints. I'm trying to.
Shador will go top. Shador is going to go top 10, but he's going top 10 to whatever team Dion wants.
I gotta see the draft order here.
I just don't think like. And if you're Tennessee, is Shador your guy?
The
Just
Browns
because-
potentially.
So the Titans are first. Then you got the
Browns
Browns,
are in
next.
Cap Hill. I don't know if they.
Giants are 3. Patriots are not drafting a quarterback.
Giants
They're
say they
fourth.
want Cam Ward, so I would assume Cam Ward's going there.
Yeah. I think there's too many teams with high draft picks that are that
I think
high.
Tennessee go if they don't
There's
trade.
really only 2.
If
There's
they
really
don't-
only 2.
Right.
The Giants and the Browns.
And I don't even think the Browns are going to draft a quarterback because they're in Cap Hill. They cannot pay. I mean, your rookie, your first round, it's a lot of money for 2 quarterbacks
Yeah,
on that
is
team. That's not going to
Unless
happen.
we think the Jags are picking the quarterback. They're the 5th overall pick.
I think no, they just gave Lawrence a bag. They're going to see how that plays
fair.
out.
I think their thing
I
is
just don't
get
think you have
Lawrence
to-
some
I don't think-
weapons and
I don't
like
think
an
you have to
offensive
draft
line
your
help.
quarterback 1 overall. I think you can trade back and still get him. You know what I mean? Like is Cam Ward number 1 overall? I like Cam Ward, but I mean I like Shador, but 1 overall. I just think you can acquire so much more talent that helps why don't you just go out and sign go get some talent and go get Justin Fields. I'd take Justin Fields over any rookie
Ooh, I don't know if
quarterback.
the Steelers want to give him up now.
He's a free agent.
I think they might try to re-sign him and let Russell Wilson walk.
Well, either way, he's a free
'Cause
agent.
I mean,
so
we'll
Tennessee
see how
can-
Russ
either way,
plays in the
either way,
playoffs, but
you know.
oof, that offense looking like when Kenny Pickett was back there. And then, I mean, I know George Pickens wasn't doing them any favors or
Dude,
anything, but
what a fall from grace that guy has had, man.
Bad few weeks for him, man. Bad few weeks.
He's looked like a stud at times where you're
six,
like,
this game,
what is
6 targets, 4 drops,
yeah,
1 reception for 0 yards.
yeah,
Awful.
awful, dude.
And then he tried to fight, like get in a fight with fans.
Like, buddy,
Yeah, he
Dude,
was talking
what is-
trash
catch
to the
a
fans.
pass.
they got
Talking trash.
they
to
got
the
to
fans.
burn some sage in that wide receiver room, dude. The spirit of AB is living.
Corrupting people. Because
Is-
first it was Deontay Johnson.
Something's happening now.
Now it's Pickens.
Robert dropping the
Right.
lily.
Dude,
Great point.
Who do you think the Saints are going to draft, Robert? I see you dropping the lily in here.
Ooh, all
Who's
right.
your
I
pick?
like it.
I mean, the biggest need, dude, edge. There's no way the Saints are picking a quarterback, man. If we don't get somebody behind 36-year-old Cam Jordan, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
Chase Young, go somewhere else in free agency.
They got,
Yeah, dude.
He's not getting to the quarterback
he
until
stinks.
week 7.
I don't know. Do you guys want to go
We're already
edge
out.
or secondary? Because that secondary has been real rough too.
Where are you picking, Caveman? I forgot. 8th?
We're the 9th pick.
Oh man, you're not even like really.
the
all
Panthers
that.
won. We didn't get the 8th. We split the series with them.
Dang, that's
oh,
tough.
that's horrible.
They must
We
have
had a
flipped
better
coin.
percentage of them by like 0.7. That's terrible.
Well, that is tough.
Packers picking 20th. I have to wait 4.5 hours for the Packers to make a pick. It's always the worst on draft night for me, dude. And the draft is in Green Bay this year, guys.
That is.
Really?
That's right. It is.
Until the final whistle
Yeah.
should definitely head up there. It's free.
Oh. You know what? I know they did have
So-
on this Texans game. Can we just good for Damian Pierce, man? That
Get
guy
out.
lost his starting job. I mean, he just had to. He
Top
just did
plays.
whatever the team wanted him to do. Return kicks, come out just to primarily pass protect when I'm in there, whatever. Like he just did what the team needed him, and then they're like, "All right, kid, this is your game. Go off." Man gets the rush for 19 carries, buck 76, and a touchdown. He ripped off a
Yeah.
long one. So good for that dude. I love seeing teams like final game of the season where we're not letting the starters play. Like the guy, everyone's
ball
happy
out.
for the guy. They're like,
Go ball out.
you've been just an absolute stud for us, just filling in where we need you, doing whatever we ask. Like, go ball out. Maybe you'll get a bad team will offer you a bag. We're giving you at least that possibility. They can see you ball out. You can go get paid, or hey, you've already certainly earned a roster spot here. We're just showing that we appreciate you. I like that from the Texans. That's a good move from that organization. Another team
Houston, we have a problem.
Interesting with the draft. The Colts, they did just win 26-23. I know they're kind of like down their ways in terms of picks, but I'm just kind of curious, like,
14.
what do you think? Excuse me. What do you think they want to do there? I mean, are we sticking with Anthony Richardson? What's the plan there? I think they do. I'm seeing what K-Van's
I don't think
got
they
here.
have a freaking plan, dude. It's the freaking Colts, dude.
NFL.com's breakdown. It says
Pat McAfee's
ensuring Anthony Richardson has a top-notch tight end as a safety valve and a solid interior defensive lineman.
No.
If center Ryan Kelly does not return, it should help him take the next step. Come on, dude.
Man.
That's
Where are they picking?
14th.
Oh, they're screwed. Yeah,
and they won, so they would have been picking 12th. But
they're bringing back this Bean dude. Billy Bean, Barney Bean. I don't know his name is Billy, but whatever his name is, they're bringing this cowpoke. Pat McAfee's basically just called him an idiot for like the last 2 years on his show. He's had a back and forth.
Rightfully so.
He's had a back and forth with the Colts on social media. Colts fans are out on Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee probably has the most influence and pull in that organization after the name of Jim Irsay.
Robert's saying Saints don't need a QB. He really likes Rattler. Put a team around him. I agree with that.
You know what?
Rattler
honestly
sucks.
He's secured his job as the backup for now. That's what I've seen from him.
Look,
he's
you need to get a quarterback.
I don't know, dude. I just don't think Rattler came into a good situation. Not like the receiving core depleted, the offensive line terrible.
Is like the worst year to be
Alvin Kamara dealing with injuries.
Well, I don't
he's
know.
better than it's the same quarterback.
Literally, that's why it's like why even try? Why waste money?
Rattler's younger though. He's going to be cheaper. I mean,
it's like
I don't think Justin Fields moves the needles that much for that team. When Rattler's kind of the same. I think Rattler has a better.
Talking about it, Spencer.
I don't know.
Rattler.
Rattler has a better arm than Fields. Like Fields is like a running back that can throw the ball
Fields
decently.
hung 400 and something and 4 touchdowns on the Broncos defense. Yeah.
No, he didn't. What are you talking about?
A couple seasons when you guys came back on him, he still had like a lot of.
It
was like his best offensive passing game of all time.
It wasn't like 400 yards, but he did. It was like 300 something. It was a career high for him, but dude, he
can throw it.
He's had 2 career 300-yard passing games. I think Rattler
what's he?
You're getting the same.
I don't think he has one.
You're getting the same amount of the same type
with
of
Olave.
quarterback.
Yeah, it's the same guy, but I mean, who gives a shit? That's what I mean.
I think Rattler's just cheaper. Fields is going to probably cost you more.
Yeah. Rattler only got to play 2 games with Olave, so he really had. He's throwing to Dante Pettis, our punt returner.
Yeah, I mean, this poor kid's just running for his life, half the snaps. I don't know. Just give him a.
For me, I see. Rattler. We need to stop. It's Spencer Rattler. It's just, if that's who we have.
I'm trying to be optimistic for Kevin and Jimmy. Okay?
I try to be optimistic with him too. That's why I say at least he's a backup.
At least give him
he's a backup.
At least give him a shot with a decent team.
Sell the farm and trade up for the first pick.
Honestly, if we could trade up,
who cares?
Then it's just like
trade.
Saying,
you're picking 9.
If we're really gonna get a quarterback, there's
I don't even know if the draft is all that. How deep is the draft this year?
Not that big.
I don't know, man. I just don't like how sometimes there's an overreaction to the draft. It's like the draft sometimes is your worst outcome.
Yeah.
Some drafts, there's certain picks at certain positions where you're like, okay, this is a can't miss Kai or whatever. Even in the second and third round, there's still NFL ready players there. So it's like, I just don't know if there needs to be this overreaction. And if you can't replace Spencer Rattler in the draft, what are we talking about? You got him in the 5th round.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? That's just my thing.
I just don't know if they're in a position where you throw in another quarterback in there, it's like, oh, are we gonna
I
Yeah.
definitely agree with this guy. You need to build a team around
Yeah.
somebody.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You need something.
All right. Here's my crazy theory though. All right. So if you actually try to put a team around Rattler, you're gonna find out one of two things. Either hey, he actually can compete in this league if you put some pieces around him and he's not just, out there on an island with no talent to help him, or you're gonna be bad and probably end up with a high draft pick again, put yourself in position for Arch Manning potentially. He can either be
man. I want
he
you
could
to
be a
come
good
to Pop
success
Pops.
story, or he
Do
could
it.
be exactly like a Sam Howell, Will Levis type of guy, where he is a great tanking quarterback because he's got a big enough arm to put up some big plays, keep receivers happy. He might turn the ball over a lot, take a lot of sacks, put you in
He's
some
a
negative
fumble
situations.
machine too. I think he had
Exactly.
like 5 fumbles this year.
So I think give Rattler another year. Either you're surprised and he's actually good, or he's just the perfect tanking quarterback to get you in position for a guy like Arch
I
Manning.
gotta look at what Derek.
He's the
Carr's
Johnny
contract is
Manziel
like.
of Baker Mayfield quarterbacks.
That makes sense, yeah.
Let's see. Are we able
You know what
to-
I mean?
But like he's
I don't know if that's
he could be like that prototype of like Sam Howell, Will Levis, where it's just like perfect
But
guy
those
to
guys are
tank.
tall. I mean, like Will Levis is kind of bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At least
but
he can kind of move. He can run a little bit.
Rattler is way
Rattler's
faster than
way
Will
fa- faster,
Levis.
yeah. But he can still. He's a big body quarterback.
Yeah, that's
Rattler's kind of
Rattler's a tinier frame guy.
He is.
I
Well,
kind
I
of, I kind
wanna
of,
see Derek
I
Carr's
adorn,
contract.
I adorn Levis to like Anthony Richardson, without melanin.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
kind of is.
There's so many quarterbacks that are the exact same guy, different last name. So many.
So we got Carr till freaking the end of 2026.
Yeah, so he's your quarterback.
So
What are we
we're
talking about?
We're cooked.
Yeah,
really, is
so
what-
he's your quarterback.
So I'm looking. I'm
he's
just
a
gonna be
huge
looking
cat,
until I'm gonna look ahead until 2027.
Who's
I might not even
the
watch football for the
2027
next 2
draft
years,
class
dude.
looking like.
Dang, man.
yeah, dude, I don't know.
You
That
got like
sucks.
guys that are going to be what like they're like sophomores in high school right now, but you're going to have to
Yeah.
start watching their game to
There we go. Start.
figure
yeah.
out.
I'm gonna go
No,
start
you
scouting,
don't-
dude.
You said 2026,
Yeah.
brother. That freshman quarterback from South Carolina
Oh,
Gonna
Lenore
have-
Sellers.
gonna
yeah.
have a few
Lenoris.
years. Levitt from Arizona State,
There
freshman.
you go.
True.
All right. All right.
That quarterback from Clemson's just a freshman too.
Klubnik?
I thought Klubnik is a freshman, isn't
I think he's a sophomore.
he? Is he a
I don't think so.
sophomore?
I think he's the
Sophomore,
same class
junior.
as yours because they played each other in like their state high school football championship.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
So nah.
Yeah, he
I just
might
haven't
be
heard of
going.
him, so I just assumed he was,
But-
a young guy.
Say, okay,
I
man, you
had
want to
mine.
talk about this Saints game a little bit because you guys did have Tampa Bay on the ropes
Fight, man.
Dude,
at halftime.
I'm just glad that we played good for a little bit. We kept him on the ropes. You know,
Really made them have to try.
We didn't just fold over and let him win the division like that. You know, we were up for the majority of the game.
dude,
It was 19-13 going
Yeah.
into the fourth quarter.
get Rattler some type of run help, bro. 19 carries for 64 yards. Oh my god.
Yeah. And he had to throw the ball 42 times.
Yeah, brutal.
That's why it's like he's kind of just secured himself as like the backup tank quarterback in my eyes. I got to see
Yeah.
when we got a fully healthy team, is he really going to be able to compete? That's really what it is. And is he going to play next year when we got freaking Derek Carr? Who knows? Who knows what happens? Because we got a long off season ahead of us.
dude, trade.
Is Jordan Mims related to your Mims?
I don't think so. I think
No, I
that's
don't
just
think
completely
so. Yeah, I think it's just
unrelated because the Bengals also got the Mims, Amarius Mims.
Name
Uh,
that Mims.
Yeah. There are a couple of Mims moving around in the
They're-
NFL.
they're-
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
we
that
kinda
was
had
cool
something going.
of Tampa to get Mike Evans his 1,000 yards, though.
You're not confident in going into 2025 with Marquez Valdez Scantling caveman? Is that what you're telling me?
And we got MVS and Chris Olave. We still
Clyde
got
Edwards-Helaire.
we still
shout
got
out
Rashid
ex-Kansas
I
Shaheed.
City.
forgot that dude was even in.
Talk about a guy
existed.
that Kansas City couldn't help, dude. I mean, even though he did steal that Super Bowl his rookie year, but it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, dude, yeah, if you can't make it on the Chiefs, who just make Walmart cashiers
Churn
look good.
out everybody. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
probably
dude,
you.
Jarek McKinnon was looking like an MVP caliber player.
Dude.
Yeah.
The final few weeks of the season, you're like,
Yeah,
oh my god,
holy crap!
like, this guy was terrorizing defenses.
And when he was on Minnesota before his injuries, it was when it was him and Dalvin Cook
Sketchy.
there. I was like, oh, this could be a I think they were out there running Case Keenum out there, and he was throwing for 465 also.
Yeah.
Because McKinnon was taking everything to the house.
The one
So,
thing
kinda
I do
crazy.
got to say about that game, though, Rattler had a few throws that did impress me. It was earlier in the game. He had some ones where it's like he throws the ball with confidence, at least. Or like some of it, he's been playing football for his whole life. You're like, these are the easy throws that you got to make. Some of them
Yeah.
were a little bit higher than that. I don't really mind where we're at because it's right where I predicted us. I predicted the Saints to win 6 football games this year. So I was
It's a good
literally
prediction.
right on
You're
track.
right on there.
I predicted that Derek Carr was going to get hurt or just play bad or something. The first 2 weeks, I just want to give a shout out to the first 2 weeks of the season.
That was a magical time of the year.
That Cowboys
We played the Panthers
Saints,
and the Cowboys, but
that
hey,
thing was one of my
great
best
2
bets of the
games.
year. I won a lot of money off that Saints plus 200 at home against the Cowboys.
I don't know why,
our
but
whole
that
team went to the hospital.
that was just
Horrible.
a great time where all that optimism around the Saints.
Season's brand new.
Dude, it was special.
we were riding,
It was something.
Kubiak, dude.
He's still my guy. He's still
I
my
like
guy.
him
I
a
do,
lot,
yeah.
man. I don't think he's gonna go anywhere.
I hope not.
I'd be kind of worried if I were y'all, somebody poaching him.
That's the main thing that I don't want to happen.
One of these guys gets a head coaching gig. He's got an offense and a pedigree. That's what it is in the NFL. It's all about pedigree.
He's got a big name. Kubiak, man.
Yeah.
He's a Kubiak.
Dad's won a
I
couple
just-
Super Bowls.
I
Well
hope we
tied to
keep
the
him, dude.
Broncos, obviously.
Because he's able to get something.
Tough.
He has confidence in his guys too. Like we got Spencer Rattler in a lot of empty sets. No running back out there to help him in pass pro. They make him read and see the
True.
field. Young guy, 5th round pick. I mean,
Yeah,
why not?
the Saints season was really just summed up by an inability to stay healthy.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Just
got
could not.
Breaking news: Jaguars fired head coach Peterson and retained GM
Peterson.
Clint Balky
Oh, interesting.
and Brian Daboll.
Didn't Bulky get fired from the 49ers?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. And Daboll and Shane are returning to the 2025 season for the New York Jets. Don't know if that's
Oh,
good.
you mean the Giants?
Giants. Sorry.
Wait, Shane Steichen?
Dabble and Joe Shane.
Joe Shane.
Joe Shane.
Yeah, Joe
Was that Shane? Was he other offensive coordinator?
Shane Steichen is the head coach of Indy, I think.
That's what I thought. So I was like,
And
what?
he was the offensive coordinator for Philly when they went to the Super Bowl.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Well, interesting. Dayball sticks around. I guess they want to give him another shot to that taking them to the playoffs that one season is really keeping them going.
They're kind of in the Bears position. They're sort of doing what
Oh, Shane's the GM.
The
Of,
GM.
Yeah, that's the GM.
Yeah,
okay,
they're
I
retaining
thought
both
for
of
sure
them.
he was
Joe
going to
Shane,
get fired.
yeah.
What the heck?
How he
I
did.
thought so too.
Yeah.
I don't know how
I
he
thought
did it.
both of them were gone after Saquon.
I was going to
Barkley
say if you had to
week
fire
4,
one guy, Shane would be the guy
Shane
because
would
like
be the guy.
he made that decision. I think ultimately that came down to him, and it's like kind of hard to put that on Dayball because I think if you're Dayball, would you? I mean, I'm not sure what the conversation was, but I don't know if Dayball would have been like, "Yeah, let's get rid of Saquon so we can keep Daniel Jones."
Yeah.
I'm just not convinced that he would have done that. But
Yeah.
yeah, the fact is you're keeping both of them is a little unfair to Dayball because it's like, really, you got this guy, you're gonna like keep this guy to hinder my, my coaching. Like, I'm not thrilled about that.
So now I think that
Doug
brings the head
Peterson gone.
coaching
That
total
makes
to
a lot of
6.
sense.
Yeah, I think that's 6 now. Head coaching.
Let's see, because Saleh got fired first.
Mayo's gone.
Mayo got fired. Eberflus was gone
Flus
mid-year.
is gone.
Dennis Allen.
Dennis
Allen's
Allen.
gone. Peterson's gone.
Doug Peterson.
Um,
There was somebody else.
Raiders' job is open. Didn't they get rid of?
I haven't
no.
heard anything. I don't think they fired them
They
yet.
haven't
They haven't
fired him
gotten
yet.
rid of Pierce. Okay. What about
I don't think Brian Callahan's safe still. I think
safe?
McCarthy. They seem like they're going to keep McCarthy, so he's going to stay around.
Yeah, they started playing good
So it's
football out
5?
of nowhere. So
5
So
it
far
looks
we
like.
just have 5.
5
All right.
as of now.
I think I said
See,
6 or 7.
Canales-
That's honestly still a lot of coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And who even
I think
knows
we'll
what's
see
gonna
some-
happen on Black Monday? You know what I mean?
yeah,
it's
we'll
like-
probably see some more.
Yeah.
I
Something probably it'll be. I got ESPN up, so if something updates while we're on air.
Jonathan Gannon maybe because he kind of choked
Potentially.
away.
Potentially, they had a playoff spot.
Yeah, he got
kinda.
choked away a playoff spot there. Mike McDonald, he's a first year head coach. I think he'll be safe.
Yeah.
They just need to get him like a
I've
new.
heard rumblings that Stefanski could. I'm like, but that's not gonna happen, man. Like the dude from
Right.
the Browns. I'm like, dude, he's
back to back.
Guys-
it's not his fault. The GM just screwed him over with a quarterback. Dude.
This is gonna be a crazy one, but if the Steelers are another first round exit, does Mike Tomlin get shit canned?
Right.
Because this is another
I don't
year of it's
know,
just
man.
like, oh, you get to a winning season and then you just start collapsing late in the year, and the team all of a sudden stops playing well. Because I mean, the Steelers September through November are a great team. December, January, they look as beatable as about anybody.
Just about anyone.
So I'm not sure what you do there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
I
the
don't
total's
know,
5
man.
right now. I just pulled it up. On
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else might be on the chopping block.
I kind of like your Tomlin take there. I mean, if they get another first round exit, but that's something we'll have to wait till Black Monday for, which is the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And really everything kind of
kind of
comes
shakes
to,
out.
comes
I
to
wonder
a
if
head.
there's any other like playoff teams where it's like, look, we need to see something from you now because you
Yeah,
can't just keep getting here and then collapsing.
Matt LaFleur.
You think LaFleur maybe?
I don't think we're going to fire him, but he's too conservative for this Green Bay Packers team. He has to take the handcuffs off, man. He has to let Jordan Love. I know he's kind of a control freak. He had to deal with Aaron Rodgers. He has to trust Jordan Love to go out there and throw the ball. If he doesn't do that, I know for a fact
I think
the
McDermott and
Packers are
Harbaugh
way
would be safe.
too aggressive in the front office to keep Matt LaFleur around. We can get somebody else to call plays, buddy.
Harbaugh and Matt and McDermott are probably safe. Dan Campbell, KOC, I think would be safe.
Totally. Yeah,
Obviously,
I think if it's
Dan-
anybody, I think it'll be Antonio Pierce.
Obviously, Dan Quinn. Yeah, Pierce. I think
it'd be Pierce.
that team just
Yeah,
didn't look ready to play until it was time to lose the number 1 overall draft pick.
right, right, dude. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
obviously, both Harbaughs are going to be safe.
And there's always one that always sort of is didn't see that one coming. Maybe it's Arizona.
Raheem Morris could be a surprising.
I think that
one.
could be the surprising fire that happens
In
this
Tampa Bay?
offseason.
No, in Atlanta.
Oh, in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Didn't they just hire him?
Yep.
So he'd be a one and done coach too.
His claim was that they wouldn't be picking. They wouldn't have a high draft pick ever again. They're the 15th overall pick.
Is that a high pick?
Kinda.
I think everything after like 4 is like you're pretty much screwed.
10 and 7
You have
won
no
our
hope.
division.
You have no hope.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah. That division, man, that's
Dude, well,
It's
it's
kind of
just
a
he
winnable
was a
division.
defensive-minded coach, and their defense was terrible.
well when you
It's
get
like, yeah.
when you sign a quarterback to $457 million, whatever it was with
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins in your first round draft pick
Is another
is
quarterback.
another quarterback, you're like, all right, well, there's no resources here.
They didn't even really have that bad of names in their secondary, though. They had Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons.
He's okay.
AJ
They're
Terrell.
definitely
The whole
AJ
rear.
Terrell is nice.
AJ Terrell at
Yeah.
corner.
I mean, they have
like-
stuff to build on, but I don't.
Well, then
think
they
have
also
a
had
core.
D. Alfred, and that's like
They need some defensive linemen, dude.
they just need
They
somebody to
cannot
pressure the
stop
quarterback.
run. They can't stop the run.
Matthew Judon, they got him. He didn't really do anything for
No.
him.
Yeah,
Handful of sacks.
Hand- Handful
Like
of
Grady
sacks.
Jarrett's kind of washed up.
Yeah. he was good about 8 years ago.
Yeah,
Just like in the moments that they were playing really good,
Yeah,
they actually
took that
Division
looked
games
a
they played really
formidable-
well.
Yeah, they kind of looked.
well,
really
except against
formidable.
except when they
against the
needed to
Panthers.
win against the
freaking
freaking
Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah,
They had 2 rock fights against the Panthers this year. Both of their games against them were rock fights.
that's a
they
team
barely
that's.
beat us twice.
I mean, I think
I
that
gotta
coach
say-
is safe though.
Oh, Canales definitely.
Canales is probably safe.
He's
Dude,
safe.
the Panthers season had to probably end on the best possible note it
Yeah.
could have for them. I mean, you really like if you're Carolina, you're one of these like 4 and or I guess you're 5-12. You're like one of those teams where it's like you're just going. You had a losing season. You're going in full of optimism. Like all of a sudden, Bryce Young, he was playing out of his mind down the stretch. You just got to be
He
thinking
was
like,
having fun, dude.
yeah,
I was
dude,
happy.
good for him, man. I honestly think
Right.
Carolina might keep him
What
and
a
try to
year.
build around him. This guy had 5 total touchdowns in this last game. He ran 2 in. He had 3 passing 25 of 34, 251 through the air. Adam Thielen, even in his old age, making some big catches. They found something nice with this guy, Jalen Coker. I really like him. He's going to be a stud. I think, you try to beef up that offensive line. Carolina has to go O-line, I think, here in the draft. Leggett, Coker, Thielen. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but
it's
not bad. They got chemistry together, right?
Potential.
I mean, this year I think you're still just looking to become more competitive.
Yeah, just show some gumption. Right, they're gonna roll over and die. Yeah,
and they showed that late in the year, and I think this year there'll be a team that's like that could at the very least be a fringe type playoff team or fringe bubble team. Where they'll at least be in the conversation late in the season. They won't just be like mathematically eliminated by week 9 like they have every other year.
They may be able to go 9-8 next year.
I really do, yeah.
Especially if they get some offensive help, man. I mean, I like Chuba Hubbard, but come on.
He's all right.
I think
we can replace that guy.
Yeah. I think the offensive line's the most important thing though, because that's where it would really fall apart is like Bryce Young would just get under siege, and that's when the offense would just kind of grind to a halt.
Yeah.
If you can protect Bryce and, the run game doesn't get shut down.
All right. He needs a running game more than anything.
Man, Rip Jonathan Brooks, that guy, the ACL tear.
Back-to-back years too, man. That was tough.
Yeah, the same one too.
Couldn't really stay healthy.
That
Chuba Hubbard got injured before this last game anyways too.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they weren't playing for much.
He's just he's like a Cam Scatterbo.
Yeah. But like with like less stockiness.
Yeah.
Similar body to Achane, but similar to Scatterbo.
Yeah.
He runs like Scatterbo with Achane's frame, which is kind of like not what you want.
He has paperclip legs.
That's what gets him hurt.
Right.
Look at Chuba Hubbard. He has paperclip legs. His legs look like bent back paper clips when he runs.
If they could like keep him around.
He has like no knee drive. Like it's all just like
as a screen back. Get some blockers in front of that guy.
Yeah.
You got something going.
He's a bowling
there.
ball, yeah.
Like
I like Xavier Leggett too.
He's pretty
He's
solid.
decent. He's decent to build around.
And he's like he's also like media guy, He's a funny dude. He's got personality for your
I
team
like
with
the
the accent.
Fan favorite.
That fried raccoon on the all things.
He is a Southern
He's got
boy,
that crazy Southern accent.
They got something. They got a little something.
They're cooking with a little Cajun season in Carolina.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I think Carolina, they're like a year or two of rebuilding away from really being like a serious team again.
Yeah, they got a while to go before I
because their defense
watch a Carolina Panthers game.
Their defense needs some help.
Yeah,
they're a long ways in the future.
But I
do they
think
have any games on primetime this year?
No.
Nope.
I think they're a year, maybe 2 away from having like a primetime game though.
Just one. You get like the Thursday.
The Saints got 3.
You get the Thursday,
the
that intriguing Thursday
hope.
night game against the Bengals in a couple of years.
Going over to the other side of the ball, the Atlanta Falcons though, gotta like how some of the offensive guys have started to look though. Drake London and Bijan Robinson combined for over 300 yards of offense between the two of them.
4
touchdowns. And 4 touchdowns. I'm bad at math, so I'm not going to do it in my head. But Bijan, 28 carries, had $170 and 2 TDs. Drake London, 10 catches, $187, 2 TDs. Get some help on the defense. Throw an honest to God wide receiver too on the other side of London. I think we got to give up on Kyle Pitts. I hate to say it, but try to move somebody in there other than Kyle Pitts. Could be a formidable offense. Could be exactly what we imagined they'd look like with Kirk Cousins in there. Yeah, I think he's cut. I mean, Cousins is probably gone. So it's like, who's filling in? Who's going for Kirk Cousins? What's the next step in his career? New York Jets put another old quarterback back there.
Hopefully
maybe?
he just goes and that's it.
Tennessee Titans get Cousins, trade for a few years, and trade it back your pick. Maybe I could see that happening, Jimmy. That's not the craziest idea.
That's not the craziest idea.
White dude like Cousins would love to be in Nashville, Tennessee. Country
That's
music.
what I mean, dude. Like,
good. It'd be a
They
good
would
fit,
suck.
just culture wise.
They would still suck.
MAGA boy,
But
Tennessee. I mean, yeah. I
Yeah.
could see it.
They would still be horrible, but I could see it.
I
You
think
know
it'd-
who I also could
they'd
see
be
in San
fun
Francisco?
at least. Who?
You know who needs a bag, and I don't think they're going to give him a bag. And this team could trade for a player who already has the bag and make it work. Why wouldn't? I don't know, man. Why wouldn't the San Francisco 49ers not pay Brock Purdy $57 million a season when they can just pay? They can trade for
Cousins. And,
Kirk Cousins, who they wanted before they got Jimmy Garoppolo, but it never worked out because Minnesota Vikings came off the top rope.
that's
stole-
about
and
that's not a
stole
good
him in
idea.
front of
Yeah.
instead of in
Stole him.
Shanahan. And I think we all saw the limitations even when Brock Purdy was healthy this season of him in the passing game. If you force him off the spot, Purdy mid quarterback doesn't really have that much of an arm. I don't know when you ask the quarterback because you're not going to be able to pay him and then keep a lot of your players. I mean, somebody's gone. Is Trent Williams retiring? No, we've seen that
Probably not.
offensive line without the best left tackle this era. Probably not good to have Brock
There we
Purdy
go.
back there. So I don't know. Maybe not pay Brock Purdy, let him go in free agency.
And then
Let
where
somebody
does-
else make a
Where does
mistake.
Purdy go then? Ooh, that's another good question.
That's where I mean. Like, why doesn't the Saints or Tennessee? Why wouldn't the Giants pick him up?
Honestly, I think the Jets
I can't wait to see
seem
what
kind
happens.
of
You know what I
likely there
mean?
too.
Guys go.
It always you sort of have to sort of like play this like
Because who's kind of
NFL's
far back in
different
the
sometimes.
draft that needs a quarterback? Like, I think the Jets, because Rodgers is probably gone.
Well,
The Jets are probably the
are
most QB
seventh
need.
overall.
I
pick.
wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers is back.
Jets are seventh overall. We got
If Adams wants to come back, A-Rod's back in New York.
once you get past like the Seahawks at 18 is
That's
like
an
the next
intriguing team to
that
pick a
kinda-
quarterback.
Yeah,
But would they take
their
but
biggest issue
remember,
they
San
need
Francisco's
offensive
not going
line.
to trade
Yeah.
Purdy to
Yeah,
because they control Purdy regardless. Like they can tag him, they can trade him, they can sign him. So it's really up to San Francisco. I don't think they're going to let Seattle.
Pittsburgh
Steelers-
potentially
Steelers
could be
Is-
interesting.
Is Russell Wilson on a bag or is he a free agent?
He's on like the lowest possible contract.
He's
'cause
on, like, a
Denver's
vet
paying
minimum.
him.
He's
deal.
on that.
Denver's
on that
paying
trade.
him.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I think if it's a disaster in the playoffs, it really all depends on how Pittsburgh looks in the playoffs. Even if they lose, but they're like competitive.
You know who needs a quarterback?
Who's that?
I don't know if it's going to be a lot to get rid of this player, and you're going to have to eat a giant cap hit and take a lot of shit from the media. Cleveland Browns.
Well, they're second overall pick. They could really make something happen with that.
I mean, trade
That's a prime time team that's going to trade out of that.
trade back. They've got a decent offensive line. They've got a decent defense. Yeah, I mean, trade back. Try to get yourself an honest to God
Sign
wide
Brock
receiver
Purdy,
one.
cut
Purdy.
Deshaun Watson, pay the $80 million, whatever it is on the cap hit,
I like that.
and
That's
move on.
intriguing.
That's not a terrible
and
idea.
move on.
Put Purdy with Kevin Stefanski, great offensive mind. I mean, dude, you got Joe
He's a
Flacco,
Baker
comeback player
Mayfield
of the
type
year.
quarterback.
Exactly.
I
That
don't
could
know,
work.
man.
That could work, honestly.
And then the San Francisco 49ers can trade for Kirk Cousins. Somebody's trading for Kirk Cousins. I know it's bad in Atlanta.
Definitely.
Somebody's getting Kirk Cousins. I don't know who.
I think
True.
San Francisco is the best fit for him. That's good offensive line, just ton of
Familiarity with
weapons,
Same style offense from Minnesota.
great offensive minded coach and Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I really see, Atlanta just trading Cousins over there. That would make a lot of sense for the 49ers.
He's a free agent.
Yeah, they just cut him. Yeah,
They cut him. Didn't they? They already released
I
him.
think they're planning to.
Yeah. So
They're gonna. They're like gonna
'cause I
do
know
it.
they said that
They're
gonna
do it by like March 10th, so that like they can dodge some of the dead cap hit. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna probably cut him. Is
I
what all
thought
the
they
reports
signed
are
him on, like, a
indicating.
4-year deal.
They did, but
Yeah.
if they cut him, I mean, they're still gonna have to take some dead cap hit, but they can avoid some of it if they cut them by like the new
all
league
these
year.
contracts are fugazi. It's just gotta pay the piper.
Right? You just
It's gonna suck for a year, but you can do whatever you want.
it's true. That's true.
You know, the two of Jordan Love's years on his contract, that is like some record-setting contract that people keep telling me are
Well,
voidable. Like they're not even
every
real years.
contract
It's
is a
voidable.
record
His
setting
last
one.
2 years are voidable, and we gave him $70 million signing. His cap hit next season is $13 million. We still pay Aaron Rodgers next year $32 million.
Right. The cap.
It's
thing
not
is
even
just-
a real thing. It's mafia money.
Right. They're just telling you that this is what it is. I mean, you're really
You got to pay the tax, and then you got to pay the VIG, and then you pay this guy that. It's
you're
like,
just kind of like Tetrising like
right
dollar amounts
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, everything's slotted in the NFL. If nobody's noticed that's listening, all these contracts. Oh, you can have one. Your wide receiver if you have a number one guy is this. Well, that means you can't pay your offensive lineman, and you always see the reverse effect of that. It's like I don't know, man. Like it's all just a giant mumbled mess.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
It really
All right.
is.
Well, guys, I
it
do
is.
got to talk about it just a little bit.
Do it.
I know
Do it.
they were
Man.
just playing their backups.
Do it, man.
Doesn't matter. But
We're proud of you.
God, does it feel so good to shut the
You're in the
Chiefs
playoffs.
out
You're in the
and
playoffs.
make
them
the
out.
playoffs, man?
You didn't make it 10 years. Did not
8
make-
years.
Oh yeah, well it
8
wouldn't have been.
years. Come
It's
on.
8 years, caveman.
What are you
Well,
talking
it was
about?
2015 to 2025. That's a decade.
Yeah, but we played in the 2016 year as at the end of the 2015 season. It's confusing. It's
That's a
the
decade.
15
The Super Bowl is
16.
technically
That's
the
a
year.
decade.
Yeah. It was like in February 2016. So
So nearly a decade.
yeah, still a short amount of time in the Jets. And hey, you know what? We were playing a team full of backups, and you did exactly what a
Yeah.
team you should do against a team full of backups.
Well, man.
Crush
Win-
him.
Win the
Crush
game,
him.
yeah.
Shut him out. Bo Nix only 3 incompletions.
No
He threw
question.
18 straight. He had 18 straight completed passes before his first incompletion. And honestly, it was a good incompletion where I'm like, pressure was coming, and he kind of just short armed it. So behind a wide open guy that would have probably gotten tackled inbounds when we had no timeouts left, anyways, and wouldn't have been able to kick a field goal. So it was a good incompletion that I'll take.
Yep.
Broncos won, man. The residents are happy.
Dude,
So that's
every-
all-
every-
that's all right with me.
Everyone was getting
I'll
in on
take
the
it.
running game, man. 158 yards total, and we had 6 different ball carriers. So let's go. Cortland Sutton got a $500,000 bonus. You love to see that. Marvin Mims, Sean Payton just had like an epiphany midway through the season. It was like, oh wow, I have like one
got
of the
this guy.
fastest players
I got this
in
guy
the
on my
league.
team.
Maybe I should give him the football and
This
find
guy
ways to
is on
give him
my
the
team.
ball. It was like when the Ancient One like awakened Doctor Strange's mind in the first movie, you know?
Yeah.
It was like that type of epiphany for Sean
Yeah.
Payton. Like, oh geez,
Yeah.
maybe I should give Marvin Mims the football. Running plays, swing passes, screens, like let's just get him in space and wow, good things happen. I'm stoked.
And I've seen it both ways, and to support you, buddy, I've seen it happen both ways where you either they're sitting our starters, we should sit ours. You got to just play the game out, dude. You just got to play your guys. It's never a bad thing. Even if they only play like a half, I'd have been okay with it because after the first quarter, everybody in the building knew the Denver Broncos.
Damn, Broncos won, man.
So you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
going to the playoffs with some momentum. Now they play the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo.
you got
You
a
get
great
that
warm
playoff
up
spot.
I do like that we
Matchup
we
we
really
get
have
into a
nothing to
little later.
lose. All the pressure is on Buffalo. We shouldn't even be here.
Be here,
Like
yeah.
nobody had the Broncos. in
And
the
that's a
playoffs.
dangerous.
I
that
had us
coach
go at
is
9-8
a
and still
dangerous
missing the
coach to
playoffs.
go
So,
into your building. For
yeah.
First round. of the playoffs.
I mean, what crackhead ideas Sean Payton or crackhead play call is he gonna have?
The Mad Hatter, man. You
Like
know,
who knows? I do like
Expect some 1st and 10 deep balls.
damn the torpedoes,
That's gonna be
shake
always
and
fun.
bake, any fake
not?
waggle, this do-si-do rodeo play that KC had where they're dancing around in a circle like a bunch of freaking kids. Throw everything
whatever.
at 'em.
Just throw the kitchen sink.
Try it out.
Why
Fake-
not?
Fake punt, dress Bo Nix in a punter jersey in the injury tent and bring him out there, line him up at punter.
For real.
You know what I mean?
Let's
And
just
just
do it.
chuck it deep.
Put Zach Wilson. Let's dress him up like our punter.
You know what I
let's
mean?
go.
Yeah.
Something.
Why
Something.
not? I
Blitz the morning, noon, and night. If you blitz Josh, I know he's going to hit you with his legs.
Make those freaking receivers.
He's gonna
beat
hit
your
you with his
secondary,
legs.
man.
The playbook on Josh Allen. If he's running the ball, he's not throwing the ball. You lose in the NFL
What-
if you give up passing touchdowns.
well, I think we can do if we can play like really good man-to-man coverage. Bring like
Yeah.
PJ Locke down into the
like
box.
who's our boy Pat Surtain gonna be afraid of over there?
You
Keon
guys could
Coleman,
honestly,
Mac Hollins.
you guys honestly could
Khalil
lock,
Barefoot
Shakir.
Bandit
lock
Yeah.
down that whole defense. Lock down.
and just dude blitz
For-
Josh Allen.
I'm a
He
little
pulls
worried
the
on
ball
how our
and runs.
linebackers are going to hold up in coverage if Allen extends plays. That's where my concern is like Stranad, Cody Barton. Like, how are those?
Cody Barton
Jo-
couldn't have a pick six, bro.
He could, yeah. Jonah Ellis. they're not like super great.
Is Dalton Kincaid gonna be are your linebackers gonna be intimidated by Dalton Kincaid?
I think they have the athleticism to match up with like those guys. I just that Herbert was kind of burning them when he was able to extend plays. I saw
Yeah.
that, and then like Mike
That's
Gesicki
true.
obviously went off. So that's where my concern
That's a
is.
good
is
point.
how
Yeah.
and Riley Moss was much improved this week. He got burnt toast against T. Higgins coming off of injury. That was kind of a tough matchup for him to have. But
yeah, it's
You have
very
the early game too. That
very
sucks.
hard.
I hate having that 11 o'clock
Yeah.
game.
Mm.
And you're going across the other coast too, man. It's like they screw you.
yeah, so I mean it's 1:00 out there, but it's going to be an interesting matchup. I really think bringing PJ Locke or just like one of our safeties. I like Locke because I think he's our most athletic and rangiest safety. Bringing him in and just kind of being a spy on Allen and like having him chase Allen down when he tries to run
Yeah.
could be big too.
I do think who's your big man in the middle?
Zach Allen.
I
Zach
do
Allen.
think the Buffalo Bills are gonna have their hands.
They're gonna
full.
have definitely.
Oh yeah, he
definitely. Are.
They're
him and
gonna
Benito.
have their hands full, caveman.
Dude, him and
He's
Benito
really good
could be a
against the
problem.
run.
We do lead the league in sacks. We have the most sacks in the
Blitz.
NFL.
Josh Allen. Blitz him.
Oh yeah.
Lead it.
And
I
when you
think-
think you shouldn't blitz them, that's when you send all of them.
I think this should just be the most aggressive game we call all year, right? I mean, just
100%, brother. Do you know if any weather's gonna be in there? I'm gonna look it up.
there could be some weather. Which hey, I mean, we went into Buffalo last year and beat them,
That's
and
true.
it was a cold. There wasn't like any snow, but it was a cold, frigid
and
night.
Buffalo and Denver plays in some gnarly weather out here,
Yeah.
so it's not like it's an NBA.
It's not like that.
They're
They have an
34.
insane advantage over us.
Not a dome.
I was
Like,
I was just wondering.
If
just
I had to
because
look
it's
at
always a
it
factor
from
in
an
Buffalo.
objective point, the Bills will probably beat us, but I got a lot of optimism as a fan. I just blind delusion as
would,
a
man.
Broncos fan.
No,
I think
dude, you have
We
to
just
know.
have to be
very good
aggressive. If
plan.
we're aggressive, we're gonna at least catch Buffalo off guard.
It's
and make it a
so
ball
random
game.
in the playoffs, man. That like you just get one of these weird games where you're like, oh yeah, on paper you just look at it, quick glance, Buffalo, Denver. Oh, it's Buffalo, brother. If you cannot throw the ball downfield in the playoffs, man to man against a blitz, you are not going to win.
We could help give Lamar Jackson the MVP if we
I
make Allen look
think
bad.
that is not a
Yeah.
dumb thing to say.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the first game after the regular season. And if you KO Josh Allen in 4 quarters, I mean, I think you're probably
'Cause
not wrong there.
People aren't supposed to take the playoffs into consideration, but they do it.
They
a
do.
lot.
Especially
They
if
do
Baltimore
it.
goes out there ahead of you the day before and blows out Pittsburgh,
Yeah, that will
which they're
definitely.
probably going to do.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so like,
Well, we saw what
It's the
happened last
biggest
time
spread
the
in the playoffs.
Steelers went to Baltimore.
yeah,
Like home field and those Steelers Ravens games, home field advantage plays
Huge.
such a
It is
huge role. It's
huge.
crazy.
They're very
Yeah.
very close stadiums, but it still plays a very big part. Fans don't have to travel too far to watch. the
looking like
Steelers
it's
play
supposed to be
Ravens.
pretty nice leading up into game time. 28 and partly cloudy.
Okay.
So
All right. So I mean,
About
honestly, not
normal.
terrible
Should be
weather.
all right.
yeah, about normal.
Which
for
honestly,
Buffalo
I
this
kind
time
of
of year.
think helps the Bills more than us because like you make the weather bad. Like,
Yeah.
we got a defense where it's like, oh yeah, we can just go and
Oh, tee off.
It's like the
Yeah.
weather here today.
Right.
Like about 20. It's pretty cold.
Kind
I-
of cold in the
yeah.
morning. Sun comes out. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
right. I think defensively, I want us to be aggressive. I think that this like quick game that Sean Payton likes to run, like let's put together long sustained drives. That's going to drive Josh Allen crazy.
The best defense
Put him on the
is a good offensive running game. in the
yeah.
playoffs.
Just keep him on the bench for a
On the
while.
bench, dude.
Don't let them get into rhythm and everything. That could be good.
I kind of like the under in this game.
We went on
'cause I
an
like the
dude. We
Bills'
went on an
defense against-
18 play, 11-minute drive against the Chiefs on Sunday. If we can
Pretty
just do
good.
something kind of similar to that a couple times,
Yeah.
that's going to certainly
Even once, man. Once a half.
just do it one time a half. Yeah,
One
put
time
together
a half.
one long drive, make Allen sit there,
And come away with points. You have to.
Yeah,
come-
yeah.
That's a big thing in the play.
come
Points
away
are
with points.
premium, dude. It
Gotta
almost turns
score.
into a half court. That's a real thing. Like NBA, it's all open. And, there's all these playoff basketball. It's a half court game. Possession, ball matters. NFL, ball matters, man.
Yep.
You go on a long drive and you don't score, you just, wasted the clock, especially if another team can score fast.
Yeah,
But
Well, it
Denver's
sucks.
shown an ability to score fast.
It sucks a lot of life out of the team too, because you're like, we did all of that just to come away with nothing that can really hurt your confidence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll.
And
So
who's going to be covering if you're Buffalo, Caveman? Who's going to be covering Cortland Sutton?
I like absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
nobody.
if you need like a 3rd and 5,
Absolutely nobody.
3rd and 5 for Denver at like say the 45. So we're that crossover point from your territory into opponent's territory. It's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7.
They lost everybody in that second.
Oh, I'm just going to run it at the sticks with Cortland Sutton. Who do you have? Box out, throw it up where only your man can get it. Bo Nix shown an ability this year.
You can put it in that.
I
spot
like
for-
Buffalo's
Kinda like
secondary,
it.
but I don't think they're that fast too. Like
No.
we could
Yeah.
we could set up something deep to Mims, like burn them
over the
that
top.
way.
This
That would be
might
huge.
even be Franklin's game. He catches the deep. ball.
Yeah,
Who knows?
him and
We've
Nix
been
have been
waiting
missing
on that
all
all
year,
season.
but if they can get it going in the playoffs, yeah, let's go.
I will say this. I am sketched out about Denver's running game against Buffalo. And if
Yeah.
Denver
This game
can't-
helped though.
you have to be able to throw the ball to run the ball if you're Denver. So my thing is like, if you don't have a sustained running game and Buffalo knows that, they're going to be dropping everybody and just blitzing the crap out of Bo Nix, making him get in the ball out of
Exactly.
his hand.
I think the big matchup here,
Estime's got to get
it's
it 10, 15 times.
it's our our guards and our center versus Ed Oliver and
Right.
those
Oh, yeah,
interior
Ed
D
Oliver's gonna
linemen.
be in there for
Matt,
sure.
I think Matt Milano's healthy too. That's going
Is
to be a
he?
chess match.
I
too,
thought
yeah.
he might have been out for that. I thought he was out for the season.
No, he missed a lot of time, but he's been back recently.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah,
I thought
that's
he was on IR.
Still got Terrell Bernard to deal with as well.
I
too.
do like Terrell Bernard. He's
Yeah,
kind of
he's
like the
pretty
one guy
solid.
that's a stud on that defense, really.
like Buffalo's defense. We've seen it both ways, where they can play really well and just shut you down, but they can also become a liability. So
Yeah.
we just got to just figure out some way to get them off balanced and uncertain. It's going to be a crazy interesting matchup. I do like that the Broncos have nothing to lose here. That can always make you dangerous.
Out of practice since December.
Who is that?
Bernard.
Bernard. Okay,
Mm.
it's going to be interesting. It really is.
It's a 4th round.
We're
pick.
The good thing is we're pretty healthy.
You're
going
pretty
into this,
healthy, man.
too.
I'm looking at the injury report.
Yeah.
Right
Hopefully
now,
nobody gets like too banged up. That's our biggest
you
problem.
have 3 guys on
that
here
we are
are
in a
listed
deep
under
team.
arrest.
Huh?
You have 3 guys on here. Allen, Powers, and Crum. I have no idea who that is. Where it
Yeah,
just
I
says
don't know.
injured rest. So Zach Allen, but is just he's listed on the injury report as resting basically. I don't know. I just looked at the injury
Okay.
report.
We do have one of the best offensive lines in football. I mean, they give up so few pressures. Nix is like one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the league this year.
He gets the ball out too, man.
Yeah, it's
doesn't hold on to
the
that
O
ball.
line and the scheme where Sean Payton's is like, get this ball out quick. Don't hold on to it. He's like, when we want to set up the deep play, we're gonna roll you out. We're gonna roll the protection and everything. It's gonna be there.
Yeah. That's gonna be an intriguing game.
I'm
man.
I'm stoked
Denver,
for
eight
it.
and a-
I'm excited
8.5
for that
versus
one, man.
Buffalo. Shout out Denver, dude.
I'm
Probably a year
excited.
ahead.
It's intriguing. Well, let's talk about the other 2-7 matchup a little bit more. Eagles Packers, Jimmy.
Yeah, dude.
This is another one where I'm like you guys got the team to kind of go neck and neck with Philly. You can be explosive with Jordan Love, or you can just if Philly wants to go on a long drive and get behind Saquon, you can go on a long drive and get behind Josh Jacobs.
I mentioned
You
it
got
with
some
your game.
stud linebackers and defensive linemen on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
The question is how healthy is your secondary going to be? Because I think Philly's secondary is going to be pretty healthy.
Our secondary's banged up. It always
Yeah.
is. Jair Alexander's on season-ending IR, so he's done.
Oh,
the
he's
year.
done. So you aren't going to have Jair.
We got Stokes and Valentine who have played pretty decent, but we still have Nixon out there playing outside. How is he going to match up with AJ Brown? My thing is, man, what they showed in that week 1 game, but we weren't able to sustain it just because of field conditions and bad bounces and crazy things that happened in that week 1 game. You blitz Jalen Hurts. He does not throw the football on time or in. You get him off his spot. He's looking to move. He's looking to run. And we've done a pretty good job sustaining quarterbacks inside the pocket.
Well,
You
that
know,
was
I think
that
it's
was
gonna be
one
tough,
big
man.
issue Philly was running into. You kind of watch it Hurts he's getting good pockets and he is just Like they had that bounce back game where he threw for 290, whatever, but it was.
And he has
Like
to practice tomorrow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's out. You have to have 4 practices. When you're in the protocol, you have to have 4 live practices in order to play.
Exactly. So
So
I
if
don't
he
know.
doesn't come, that's what I mean, caveman. That's what I mean. You're in the.
Oh,
He's still
man.
in the. He's not even out of the protocol. So if they got him out of the protocol today, he has to practice tomorrow.
that's
Has to.
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Who knows if he's gonna even be available?
Because it's only Wednesday, Thursday. They don't count Saturday as a practice. It's an off day. So you only have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's not 4. He's still in the protocol. If they got him out of the protocol, but they couldn't because it's obviously third party. You know what I mean? It's kind of tough, dude. And if
We'll
we're
see.
playing
That-
Kenny
There's
Pickett,
not any updates
different
on it
ballgame.
yet.
I haven't
Nothing
seen
yet?
anything on ESPN.
Okay.
Radio.
Yeah.
But I heard about it on ESPN
Oh.
radio coming in this morning. That's a
Yeah.
kicker that they're throwing, and you see
Yeah,
that number,
man.
reflected in the number. It's only 4.5-point favorite for Philadelphia. It opened up 2.5-point favorite. It was basically almost a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Green Bay's gone to plus 190. It opened up plus 150 on the money line.
Even with Hurts healthy, that drop back passing game of the Eagles, it's looked
No-
shaky. It's
no
looked real
Watson.
shaky.
Yeah, I really like
At
Philly's
times.
secondary with Quinyon Mitchell. They really do a really good job putting pressure on it. I really just think it comes down to the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur just taking the handcuffs off this offense. I know
That's
we have
where
Josh
I think you guys
Jacobs.
have the advantage. Just let Love throw the football. You guys
Let
are a
it
better team through
rip.
the air.
100%.
If you have to force Philly to throw the football, they might get
Might
into
get
some
tough.
trouble.
It might
We-
get tough for him.
Dude,
That's where they've struggled this year.
and I'm like,
If you just let them run the ball, like Saquon's going to just
That's
run
gonna
you
kill
into
you.
submission,
He's
probably.
just gonna kill you.
But if you can force them
And
to
I
have
really
to
like
throw,
our run defense. We held Saquon in Brazil to the lowest rushing yards that he had all year.
All season.
So I mean, like, I think we've done an okay job. Like, you seen what Gibbs did to Minnesota's run defense yesterday too, and we
Yeah.
kind of held him in check a little bit. I don't know. I really like our run defense in some aspects. Our secondary is kind of sketchy. We'll see. But I think, again, our best defense is going to be Jordan Love and this offense on the field, sustaining drives and being explosive. Do I think we can win? Yeah. Last time I broke up with a girlfriend in 2010, we played on the road in Philadelphia and won.
Uh-oh.
On that run, we decided to win the Super Bowl as the
Okay.
6th seed. This year, could we be the first 7th seed in NFL history to win the Super Bowl?
no kidding.
The
All
brand,
right.
and what happened earlier this new year?
My
How did I
gosh.
start off my new year?
HG.
Newly
Broke his
single.
girlfriend.
This
Well-
And we're
could
on the
be-
road. Nobody's giving us a shot. Michael
right,
Vick
well-
went rough shot on the Green Bay Packers in 2010. Coming out party. Crushed us. We had no shot. And playoffs, it's a different game, man.
Totally different
It's
game.
a totally different game. We have a bad taste in our mouth. We've been talking about it for the whole season. Matt LaFleur's been hinting about this rematch. We have to earn the right to go back to Philly. That's what he did. Even when Detroit Lions, number 1 team in the Minnesota, they were a really good team in the NFC North. He's talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and earning the right to go to Philly and play in that game. We
Good
were talking about
chance.
that in week 5. So I really think our team's sort of like in this mindset of like,
Beat them, go to
just
Detroit.
get to Philly. And then it's like, well, now Detroit's going to be all fat and happy sitting on a bye week. We're going to
You
be coming
wouldn't-
off of the
you wouldn't
biggest
even play
upset
him.
in NFL history.
You wouldn't even play
For
him in the
some
second
people.
round. You'd have to play him in the NFC Championship game.
Mm,
You would play the winner of Bucks Commanders.
No,
right?
they would play Detroit.
we would play Detroit. They're sitting
'Cause-
on a bye week and we're the lowest seed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, all right. I do think the Packers got a good chance to upset here.
I will say this.
That's true.
I really do.
We lost to Philly in the regular season, Detroit in the regular season, Minnesota in the regular season. Do the Green Bay Packers beat all 3 of those teams in the playoffs?
Well, that would be. I mean, they would.
That would kind of be crazy.
The football gods would find a way for something like that to
I mean, then
happen,
you look at
too.
all of our division games. Like, we went 1-5 in the division. We're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So anybody telling you gotta, that's why I always laugh. I'm like, bro, just make the play. It doesn't matter.
It'll be a
Regular
different
season's
ball game.
only. It's a whole different ball game. It's
I
not
kinda
even the
think-
same game.
I kind of think the Eagles lose this one here.
I think the Eagles win,
I-
man.
I
I
don't-
just don't like how we're playing football right now. I like us to cover the 4.5. I think it's a field goal game, 2.5, 3.
I really want to see if Hurts is healthy or not.
Yeah.
If he
gonna be a kicker,
plays,
man.
I
I
think
know.
it's a different type of ball game. where the Eagles have a much better chance. But like if
don't
it's
trust
Kenny
Matt
Pickett,
LaFleur, bro.
if it's Kenny Pickett, I don't think.
Yeah, man.
I don't
If
trust
it's
Kenny
Kenny
If
Pickett.
it's
to
Kenny
play
Pickett,
up.
I think we'll win, and then you'll see that
Yeah.
reflected in the point spread. I think because Jordan Love's fine.
Yeah.
He
We'll
did
see.
get banged up with his elbow. I know we don't have Christian Watson. Romeo Dobbs was out against the Bear games, but we held him out for basically no big deal.
We got a caller coming in.
Call coming
We'll
in.
talk to this person before we move on to our 3-6 matchups. Hello. Did
Did
they?
it answer, Jimmy?
It did not answer.
They
Guess they hung up.
They may have hung up while it was ringing. Dang it.
Well, that's too bad. Well, call back if you want to. Let's get into these 3-6 matchups while we're here. And we'll start on the NFC this side this time. Buccaneers, Commanders. Intriguing game between two teams that I don't think a lot of people thought were going to be here. I personally had the Bucs winning the division, making the playoffs, because I like Baker Mayfield. I think he's in a good situation. But I know a lot of people thought Atlanta was just going to run away with that division. And then the Commanders, people thought, yeah, rookie quarterback could win 7 or 8 games. Jaden Daniels is a beast, but a 12-5 record going into the postseason.
Yeah, man. Talk about a team that's also a year early.
They are. They certainly are. Jaden
Yeah,
Daniels, man.
Way
What a
ahead
baller,
of
dude.
schedule.
He is.
What a baller, bro.
He leads, all rookies in total yards, obviously. But he, like, in terms of scrimmage yards, he's the 8th rookie on
tough
that
match
list,
for
scrimmage
Christian
yards, because he has like 800 something rushing yards.
Yeah.
It's a tough. I mean,
He
let's
runs
not
the
forget.
most out of any quarterback.
Let's
Is he
not
rookie of
forget.
the year? He's rookie of the year.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think so.
Yeah. Like, objectively, it probably should be Brock Bowers because he just had the best season, I think, where he broke like Mike Ditka's record, broke the receiving rookie yard record, and was just, like, he was kind of unstoppable. I mean, like, you're playing the Raiders, the ball's going to Brock Bowers, and he still would just, he would still get the ball. He'd still just put
He'd
up
still
130
go-
yards. Yeah.
Yeah, still go and get his.
Catch
Doesn't
like
matter.
12 passes. But I think Jaden Daniels, you lead a team to a 12-5 record, put up the numbers he did. Very deserving of it as well.
Yeah.
I think he's a lock for rookie of the year. Keep in mind, Bucks did play the Commanders week 1. That was a 37-20 routing that Tampa put on Washington. Different team that's coming into Tampa this time, though. That was a home
Much
game for the
different
Bucks, though.
team.
Honestly, though, I think I like the Buccaneers here more still. Although we are getting Marshawn Lattimore on Mike Evans, man. We're getting that in the playoffs.
Right.
That's
Lattimore's
dude.
gonna get freaking torched up.
that's going to be interesting.
That's going to be super interesting.
My thing, here's the thing. Washington's run defense has been a real suspect all year. And dude, Bucky Irving and Rashad White, that duo is dynamite. They're electric. I really think that's where Tampa is going to get the advantage here. Is they're going to just run
I think so, man.
the Commanders into submission.
I think so, dude.
I think we could see, like, it's going to be like 200 yards on the ground from Tampa.
I think Baker and Mike Evans could get. I just don't.
That's where the
more quarters.
Commanders defense they've been like real hit or miss all
It's hit
year.
or
They can
miss, yeah.
they really can give up a lot of points.
But I think if you're the Commanders, dude, you win. You lose.
It-
mightily.
Another game,
Brother.
just throw the kitchen sink at
Throw
Tampa.
the kid, yeah.
But like, here's the thing: is I think Tampa's also going to do that because
Right.
like
That's a dangerous team.
they are.
Very.
And then they're gonna go play either the winner of Minnesota and the Rams.
Yeah, Tampa's got a real
I
good
kind of like
roster.
Tampa in both those games.
And they're the 3 seed.
Right.
So
It's no slouch.
they're playing at home.
Baker.
I think they have a
throwing
real
the
slept-on
ball.
defense.
I do too.
They
man.
got like a couple second, third year guys that just don't get a lot
Yeah.
of attention. But like
Yeah.
Troyan Shaenka, he's a beast on the
people are
edge.
just completely forgetting about Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yeah, Vita Vea in the middle.
Yeah.
You still got Levante David's still playing
Still
great,
playing great.
and they got
Yeah.
what's the other guy?
Shaq Barrett.
No, Shaq Barrett retired.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
It's the other like middle linebacker. Is it Devin White?
Yeah, Devin White.
Yeah, Devin White's still
They
there.
still have Devin White.
Antoine Winfield Jr. is there. They still have another Jamal Dean. That guy's still a pretty good player. Zion McCollum, he's a good young corner. I really like
Looks
that guy.
Some guy named Britt and David are their two linebackers.
Oh, gotcha. I think. Oh, yeah, White might have moved on. But
Dean
and like,
as a cornerback.
dude, like this Payne Durham, who's this guy? This guy's caught like
Right.
4 touchdowns the past 3 weeks.
Yep.
Jalen McMillan, he's
Vita Vea.
he's a new threat out there on the outside. They got opposite of Mike Evans,
Antoine Winfield Jr.
Bucky Irving, and Rashad White. They could burn you on the ground or through the air. Those guys are great pass catching backs. You just don't want them to get into space. And Baker, probably his best season, like definitely his best season statistically, but just also being like an improviser, like we just saw last week. He's about to take a sack and like instead he just pitches a little pass over to what's his name, Bucky Irving. Behind the line of scrimmage, Bucky takes this thing 25 yards for a touchdown.
You see he's improving, but turning into a little bit of an NFL vet. He's extending plays more, moving around in the pocket much better. He's using his athleticism to his advantage and using that to make reads later on in the play when it breaks down. But I think their defense is the biggest. If they get into a rock fight with the Commanders, dude, it's going to be another freaking just overtime game winner for Jaden Daniels, dude.
Yeah.
Because Terry McLaurin's a veteran wide receiver, and he's also
true.
pretty good enough.
First time in the playoffs for this kid.
Good enough to catch a 50-50 ball against your number one corner. So it's like they don't want to get into a close game. They want to keep this, definitely get stops in this game.
They're going to have to get stops.
They need stops.
They need a lot of stops.
No, like they can't just go down and score and kick a field goal or score a touchdown
Right.
every possession.
Right.
You got to have at least they need
You
a
got
few
to get a
punts in this
couple
game.
3 and outs in a row.
Yeah. This one's definitely
Gotta
coming
stay
down
ahead
to a
of the
field goal.
sticks.
I feel pretty confident this could be a field goal type game. I really
I
like
think
because
it's-
Jaden
I
Daniels
think it's
is
Tampa big.
You
There's
do?
something about the playoff experience. A lot of players on that team that have Super Bowl experience.
That's true. There are a lot of guys that won the
There's
Super
just
Bowl with
something-
Brady.
Baker
And
Mayfield.
this is a pretty
scrappy-
similar team to the team
won a
that went
playoff
into the
game
playoffs
before,
last
so-
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
Very similar.
Right.
Very
nearly
similar.
1-1 on the road
Nearly
against
what-
Detroit. Like that was a
They gave them everything that they wanted.
1-score game there. Yeah,
They
So-
lost the game because they didn't go for it on 4th down. They went to kick a field goal and
Exactly.
then tried to kick the onside.
Yep.
So they didn't really give themselves a chance.
Yep.
Being too conservative late in the game.
Yeah.
In the playoff game.
I just
last
think
year.
it's a younger
Tampa Bay,
team with
Detroit rematch NFC Championship game.
maybe it's a younger team with what should we call it? Jaden Daniels. Not like
Yeah.
Washington hasn't been in the postseason since Brady knocked them out in the
Forever.
first round with that Taylor Heineke run.
Yeah.
And that was a completely different team.
Yeah.
That team
I mean,
was
Dan
crazy.
Quinn does have playoff coaching experience. I'll give him that.
Went to the
But-
Super Bowl.
I just think like the experience and that playoff pedigree that the Bucks have, I think will also play a big
Yeah.
role in this.
Yeah. I just think they're going to be ready. It's home game.
Yeah,
Bad taste. Hot team.
I do. I don't know if Tampa's
know.
going to win big though. I think
What's that?
I think Washington's got the ability to play them close. It's only Tampa -3 from what I got over
Tampa
here.
Yeah,
minus
that's what it
3.
is on
Wow.
ESPN, yeah.
So I
Wow.
don't hate the Commanders keep on this close. I think they've got the possibility to do this, but I do think the Bucks will edge them out ultimately. We're going to go over to the other 3-6 matchup across the divisions or conferences
Ravens.
rather. Ravens Steelers. Ravens are -10. I'd take that, man.
It's the biggest.
I think this is our most likely game to be a blowout
Oh yeah.
of the weekend.
Steelers have a good defense, man, but
But I mean,
offense isn't.
you just
staying
saw
on the
like
field
at
long
home,
enough.
like the Ravens at home put up
Unstoppable
34 on
team,
them.
yeah. Unstoppable team, really.
I think the secondary of Baltimore has been playing their best they have all season. 2 pick sixes in back-to-back weeks. They're getting good pressure. They're giving up less yards through the air.
Boys, we have a week straight of playoff football.
I know.
It's good stuff.
It's gonna be great.
Great stuff.
Boys, the
man.
9th and 10th is college football. 11th, 12th, and 13th is NFL playoff football.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a week straight starting in a few days
Oh yeah.
of nothing but playoff football, dude.
It's the best.
Wednesday show is going to be fire.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have the SCS championship tonight to recap as well.
I got Montana State. Let's go.
So they're the team of destiny
I
this
think
year.
so.
They're gonna
I mean,
they're gonna
Andy,
do
they
it.
North
got it.
Dakota, though,
Bully on the block for a long
long
time.
time.
True.
Not afraid of that
True.
moment. It's gonna be
We'll
fun.
see.
We're gonna tune in for it.
I'm definitely checking it out.
Yeah.
4 and 5 matchups though. Should we start the AFC on this
Yeah.
one?
What are your guys' predictions for this Ravens Steelers? Let's just get that out real quick. I think
Ravens Steelers.
Ravens
another
like
35-10 game like they just beat
I
up
like
on the Browns.
31-10. I think something like
They
that.
might just beat them up.
I really don't see this being too competitive. That's the Prime Video exclusive. Ooh.
No, that's perfect to put it on there.
Yeah.
That's where all the crap games
That's
go
where all the crap
anyways.
games go anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll start in the AFC for this 4-5 matchup. Chargers, Texans, LA road favorites in the playoffs, -2.5.
I'm picking them too. I'm picking them to win it.
I like the Chargers.
Picking the
here.
Rams?
No, I'm picking the Chargers.
Oh, my bad. I misheard you.
Yeah, I like the Chargers here too. The Texans, man, they have a lot of like glaring weaknesses. That
So-
offensive line against that Chargers pass rush.
Houston is the division winner.
They are.
They
yeah.
are the home team.
Yes.
They are the underdog in this Chargers Houston matchup.
Yep.
Plus 135 for Houston at home. Plus 3 points. So you're getting 3 points. Chargers, I don't know, man. I mean, the playoffs, it's such a crazy game. It's like, how is the home team not the favorite? The home field advantage in playoffs is so severe.
It is big.
All your fans, you know what I mean? It's only going to be your fans. I mean, has Herbert ever gone on the road? So, like, why are we putting them on this level that they're all of a sudden can't be?
He did go on the road and blow a 27-0 lead against the Jaguars.
So, I mean, how is he? You know what I mean? Like, didn't Houston win a playoff game last year
They did
at home?
against the Browns.
Interesting.
They beat up on the Browns
Yeah.
last year too, man.
So, like,
I just
don't
think
know.
going
man, like,
into the playoffs, that was a more complete looking team. The Texans have
this year are
struggled
shaky.
mightily.
I don't think you need to be a
against
complete
good
team to win a
teams.
playoff game.
That's fair.
True.
I do think it's going to be a close one. I
I think it's going to be a really close game.
the
I think it's
Chargers
gonna be a very
have
close
just
game.
have an
I like the
elite
under in this game,
defense.
too, under
Jesse
42.
Minter has got that team.
That's going to be a 10-5 ball game.
I don't know if it'd be that low, but yeah, I hear you. Chargers still the number one scoring defense. One of the top teams in limiting yards per game. They're a bit farther down than some other
Yeah.
teams, but they're still really elite in that sense.
I don't know, man. It's just kind of crazy to me. As a sports bettor, it's like it just makes it harder, man, because like the Chargers haven't done anything. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to play -160? You have to lay $160 to win $100. I'm not doing that. I mean, I like Harbaugh as a coach, but not this year. I mean, there's just too many holes that you can poke in that Chargers team. Man, they're playing decent football. I like Herbert a lot as a future
This is two teams
NFL
that
quarterback.
have like a lot of holes.
A
I think,
lot of
honestly.
holes, brother.
Although,
So how's the home? Like, I just and it's like, well, Houston's plus 135. Like, and I agree with you. Like,
it's going to be defense because I think that's where both
they're
of these
not a
teams are
complete
really
team at
strong.
all. There's a lot of
That's
holes in
fair.
Houston's offensive line.
That's fair.
Right. I think the Chargers are going to be able to limit Joe Mixon a lot. And it's not even necessarily CJ Stroud's fault, but like Bobby Slowick's play calling and like route concepts
kinda with
are
you on that.
weird.
It's not helping that
I-
the
I
line is so bad too.
Somebody pointed out, like,
Let
I think it
something
was
develop.
Theo Ash was like pointing out like Christmas Day game. He was showing some of these like play calls where it's just like, we're running like guys into each other's zones. So we're running defenders like onto open players. We're not, we have Stroud looking at, this side of the field, but we're not giving him a check down over there. So like his only options are like to push the ball down the field. I think that the Chargers are better coached. I think that's what it's going to ultimately come down to. I think talent wise, these teams are right there next to each other, but coaching wise, Harbaugh as a head coach is, I think, on par with D'Amico Ryans. But you look at
Houston has a top 6 defense in the NFL.
I look at Jesse Minter's, defensive
Even a
schemes
20
versus
game.
Bobby Slowick's offensive schemes.
True that.
And I think that's where the Chargers draw the advantage right
Oh,
there.
True that.
I mean, Minter's done some
Yeah.
special stuff
I don't
with a
like
pretty
Slovic.
limited
I'm out on
Chargers
him.
defense. I mean, you got like what Derwin James is over there, old
Bosa's
ass,
hurt.
old ass Bosa and Khalil Mack,
And he's hurt.
right? I mean, Tarheeb still's been kind of
He's all right.
a standout steal in the draft. He's
It's like
been really
if there's
good.
a game Nico Collins can get open, I don't know.
Certainly is
That's
this
true.
one.
This is
You
one
know,
of
just like I don't know why some teams like nuke it. It's like why'd you stop running that downfield stuff for Collins like you did last year at the beginning of the year? I know losing Tank Dell sucks, but it's like it's a system fit there. Like if you can't, I don't know, he's a small guy, he's fast. Like there's 1.5 million guys like that. I really like. I want to pick Houston because it's hard to win a road playoff game. Man.
It is. It really
Not
is.
an easy task.
Especially to go out there and like cover a 3. Like I don't know,
It's
man.
not an easy task.
I think if Houston gets the like coin flip and Houston wins it, I think they're taking the ball and they're just going to play offense because they're not going to throw their defense out there to be mincemeat for Herbert right away.
No.
It's that team has to play with a lead. That's a front running team.
Yeah, they do like to run the football.
If CJ Stroud has a lead and has some confidence, it could be good night Susan. Like he has that it factor. He plays with the lead. He plays like a completely different game. If he's playing from behind, he gets desperate. He makes mistakes. he
Especially if you
fumbles
can
it.
let Joe Mixon just get running too.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
That's when the Texans have been real dominant when Nixon's just been able to take carry
So,
after carry.
you know, and like you're the home team, road team calls the toss. You win the toss, say even like the Chargers defer. I like starting the game with a ball. It's like I know everybody likes to get the ball in the second half, but Houston, that
Here,
Houston Chargers
you
game's
don't
gonna be
really mind
interesting.
it as much here.
So I think we're split. Me and Caveman are on the Chargers, and Jimmy is on the Texans.
I like it.
All right.
I'm going to be on the Texans on this
Okay.
one, just to be opposite. I could see
feel
the
it.
Chargers kicking a game-winning field goal to win by 1 or 2 or something like that.
That's
would-
what I'm thinking.
I don't think I'm going to bet this game just because it's like
It's going to be chaos.
it's
yeah.
going to be chaos.
I don't, this is not a safe one. To
If
bet
I
on.
bet it, I'm just going to bet the plus money, you know, because they're the home team. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're the home team. I got to bet. You know, I'm going to get plus money on the home
And-
team.
While we're going through this, drop your playoff predictions in
Yeah.
the comments below.
Yeah, who we got?
Call and give us a text. All right, well, let's get to our
Last
final
one.
playoff matchup then that we got here.
Rams Vikings.
Rams and Vikings.
Interesting matchup, dude.
Intriguing matchup. Only other
I
team
don't
to beat
know.
the Vikings this year, besides the Detroit Lions, was the LA Rams.
If you weren't going to say it, I was.
Last time, and like, I mean, does history repeat itself? Because here's what happened: Vikings start 5-0, lose to the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
Followed up with a loss to the LA Rams. Vikings go on another long winning streak, end the season with a loss to the regular season, ended with a loss to the Detroit Lions. Play the Rams. ...
Dude. Dangerous team. Sam Darnold, Matt Stafford. Who you trust more?
Stafford.
Stafford.
I trust Matt Stafford more. He's won the Super Bowl.
I trust Matt Stafford
I-
more.
You know, McVay or you know, what's his face?
And I
We
think
saw
O'Connell.
Darnold last
Stafford just
Right.
dude.
Yeah, tricky.
And you don't think Jared Verse and old Cuzzy next to Verse isn't going to just
Braden Fisk.
you get
Yeah.
this? I said it week 3. I want to go back in some of the old archives and make a clip. Yeah, just get Sam Darnold off his spot and he will throw the ball away. He'll just be inaccurate. He won't make those same throws. He pulls his eyes down and sails the ball. All night you saw him overthrowing guys.
And against a not a good.
They had some
line.
opportunities last night
Def-
too that
Lions
they made
defense.
mistakes on,
Overthrow.
like that were like, you know, one out of bounds from Justin Jefferson that he
Yeah.
bobbled and like
Right.
barely.
I mean,
That one.
if
that one
Ricky
you can't really put on
Pearsall
him, but, like,
carved up this
got a great
Lions
point.
defense the week before, how did Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison do nothing?
Right.
You know,
Because they just bro. They blitzed him every snap.
they did. They just sent pressure.
They teed up. That's all you like. And why the Minnesota Vikings weren't doing the same thing is beyond me. Because when they were doing that in the first quarter, Jared Goff looked regular also.
It should have just been a blitzing battle.
It should have
the
just whole
been
been a
night.
blitz. Bro,
all
those
night
two
long.
quarterbacks
Well, I
were the
think-
exact same.
Ben Johnson schemed ways to beat the blitz, where the Vikings just
Vikings
couldn't figure
can't- they
anything out.
couldn't
Like
do anything to
Johnson
stop
was getting
Yeah.
Gibbs out quickly. They were
Yeah.
able to run the ball too.
That's true.
And I think Goff and the offensive line, that's a better unit. They're just better at
That's a
picking
good
up the
point.
blitz.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's fair.
Here's the thing, like that Lions offensive line's been together for like what 3 years now, 4
Yeah,
years.
they're
Like it's like the
solid
same
line.
guys. Like
The only unit that's not been banged up in injuries
Yeah.
is that offensive line.
I mean, like, and so when you have to pick up a blitz, it's not all on Goff. He does not like
No.
that offensive
they're
line.
not asking him to do a
I mean,
whole lot.
Goff really doesn't even have to pick the blitz up. He's like,
Nah.
he'll be like, "Yo, Frank, you see the blitz?" He's like, "Yeah,
yep.
we got you, Jared.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
let's
Skipper passing.
we are we already know
a
it's
lot
like
of veterans. A lot of
Yeah,
veterans. on
like-
that team.
That's not to say the Vikings, they have a pretty good offensive line too, but I just don't think they're on the level that the Lions is.
Yeah.
And
Not
look,
the
if
same level of chemistry in that.
Jared Verse, this was kind of his coming out game this year, was against the Vikings.
Right.
And this is a much healthier secondary than the Vikings even played them in week 1.
Yep. And that's a dome team going to a dome game.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
The Rams did
I
have
like
a
the
week of
Rams in
rest.
this game.
They didn't play their starters because they didn't really care where they were seated at.
It's gonna be another close.
I think
4 or
Sean
5.
McVay against one of his old
so?
prodigies.
I think so too.
Well,
I think so.
And who taught Kevin O'Connell pretty much everything he knows?
I think O'Connell.
Sean McVay.
Really? Is O'Connell the McVay?
Oh yeah,
Tree?
McConnell was with the Rams team. He was I think he was the OC when they won that Super Bowl, and then he got hired to Minnesota.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, yeah, Sean McVay's.
Rams plus 105 at home.
O'Connell's a protege of him. I don't know if he's at that point yet where he can beat.
I forgot about that. I thought it was Minnesota for a minute.
No, it's the Rams.
I got.
I honestly just kind of I honestly just kind of see history
I'm
repeating
getting
itself.
plus money on the
Rams.
home team.
Vikings look hot,
Look at
lose to Detroit, go to Minnesota, or go to LA
paper
and
Vikings.
lose another one.
Paper Vikings, man.
And I mean,
And it's going to be the paper Lions again. Too.
it's what the
We
Vikings
have
just
to wait a little bit longer.
they're just choke artists
They really are.
in
They're
the
cheats, man.
postseason.
They really
They're
are.
they're snaking. They're cursed.
The
It's
playbook's
whatever.
out on them now too. It's like
Oh,
you know
yeah.
they just don't even know what's
Oh, yeah.
coming yet. I don't know if the Rams have the linebackers. I will bet Hawkinson to score a touchdown because that streak, guys. If you haven't been paying attention, tight ends are like, I think the last like 11 games in a row, tight end has caught a touchdown on the LA
On the
Rams,
Yeah,
defense.
they've been giving up a lot of tight ends.
It's a lot,
But
and so
LA, they're
That's
just like a
about it.
team that like they can just find a way to win. Like whether it's you got to score a ton of points, like they got in the shootout with Buffalo, that was no problem. Then they just got to see these ugly, sloppy matchups.
I just don't think JJ has the same aura that some teams really don't have to. Dude, you can single that guy up and press him, and he disappears.
Right.
It's just what it is. So it's like I don't know if the LA Rams. I mean, who's really in that secondary anymore? I don't really know. A bunch of They have a few rookies back there. A rookie has been playing
Carlton
really good,
Kitchens, he's pretty good. They got Kobe
playing pretty good.
Durant.
pretty good defense. But it's like I don't know.
It's just more of like their
I don't know if they're
scheme.
intimidated.
They're just
Right.
more of like a scheme team
They
where
are
it's like it
scheme.
doesn't really matter who's back there.
Yeah.
They just
And they got a good
and they
defensive
lost
coordinator,
Raheem Morris
too,
and
who's been around for a while.
yeah,
Their DC's been around a while.
he's replacing Raheem Morris when he took the Falcons job.
Yeah.
Took him a bit to get going, but start of the
bad.
season they're really banged up. The Rams didn't look
Yeah.
like a good team. They got healthy, and they looked like one of the better
It's
teams
gonna
in
be
the
an
league.
interesting game. I probably got to go. Rams
LA's
boys.
like there have been fans at those games now too. I think LA's going to actually have more of a home advantage here too. People are starting to get more into football. I mean, it's actually been some noise when the other team's on defense, and more so in those Rams games than even those Chargers games.
Chargers desperately need a fan base. They desperately need a fan base.
Minnesota 5-4 in their last 10 head-to-head against the Rams.
I want to go with the Rams here, honestly.
I want to go with the Rams. I don't know, man.
I think
don't
I'm
know
going to
if I
take the
so.
Rams.
Minnesota
though.
could win. Aaron Jones run the ball. Keep Matt Stafford off the sideline with Cooper Kupp.
You want to keep Puka off the sideline.
You got to keep both. Yeah, that's
Dude, they just find a way to get Puka the ball too, and he's just kind of destroying people. Doesn't matter. Even in games where like the Rams,
here.
even in games where the Rams don't look great offensively, Nakua still has like 11 catches for 150 yards. He's like 80% of Stafford's offense when Stafford
He
came
is,
the
he's-
pass game going.
He gets looked at a lot.
I like Kyron Williams more as a back here too, and I like the Rams running game more than Aaron Jones and Cam Akers.
That's a good point.
You know, Kyron's just that he's a
They kind of use those two
workhorse
backs
back.
similar. Aaron
Yeah.
Jones, Kyron, kind of similar style running styles and offensive schemes how they get him the ball.
I'm leaning more towards LA.
Kyron Williams gets the ball a lot, dude.
I'm just leaning more towards
A
LA.
lot. He gets handed the ball off to him like 27, 28 times.
Dude, he averages like 28 carries a game. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like they
and he
just
gets
feed
targeted
him
in
the
the
ball.
you know,
Pass game,
in the
he's getting
pass game.
ball over 30
30
times.
times.
A game.
It's like 70% of your offense.
Yep.
But it works. I mean, teams are just
Does work. man.
they're having
Can
trouble
confirm.
stopping it.
Can
It
confirm.
works.
It does work.
It works.
I mean, Sean McVay, he's not doing anything too complicated. Like
No.
it's just
No,
most of the time it's
not at
like,
all.
let's get Puka or Kyron the football and see what they do. And, oh wow,
Right.
heck, these guys are pretty good football players.
Kyron kind
What
of
do you
had a
know?
good game against my Packers defense, but he also got the ball. He got handed the ball off 32 times and also had who caught the ball 7 times.
Yeah,
So 40 possessions.
I can't.
He touched
Blake
that
Corum
thing.
could be a sneaky piece in this
And
game.
next year, it's a big. Sometimes there's positions where it's a big gap from college to NFL. I think he went through a little bit of a rookie wall.
Well, I just feel like they didn't use him. Like he would,
I know he
Look,
was
he would
banged
look-
up coming into the NFL year.
right?
too.
But then when he got healthy, they would use him early in games, and like he was ripping off some 7-8
Yeah, I
yard
was gonna-
runs like back.
I don't
to
know
back
if
to
he's
back.
ready for pass protection yet. Because I mean, how much of a liability?
That's
you know,
his
when
problem.
you got Matt Stafford who's dealing with injuries also.
Yeah.
It's like,
Then yeah.
and you can trust
Older
Kyron
quarterback.
Williams to pick up the blitz.
Like Stafford, if he's hurt, you have to like hog tie the guy to keep
Yeah.
him out. You put handcuffs on him, and he'll still try to get out there.
Yeah.
That guy does
Yeah.
not care.
No,
He'll break his thumb to get out of the handcuffs and just throw.
he
up a
lays it out
broken
there.
thumb.
He's the closest thing to this era's Brett Favre as I think we can get. Because, dude, hell or high water, broken fingers, jacked up elbow, probably needs Tommy John surgery again for the 3rd time in his career.
Some
Yeah.
ankles.
You know, all those
Twisted
years in
up.
Detroit where he was getting just sacked 35 times. a season.
Violated, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Clay Matthews made a career off that guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, the only time Clay Matthews didn't go to was against the Bears or the Lions. That was it. And so it's like, yeah, dude, I don't know. He took a lot of injuries. I know he's jacked up his shoulder a couple times, that nerve thing that he had last year. So it's like, yeah, they got to protect him. You know, and is Minnesota, I don't know, man.
They're gonna blitz a lot.
They
They're
do have
probably
some
gonna
pretty
rush
good
him a
edge
lot.
rushers.
But I mean, that's when Kyrie went draw plays. I mean, McVay I think this might be able to be game of the week potential.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
and
gonna
here's
be
the
show,
thing.
and it's the last
big
playoff
coaching
game.
Dude, even
matchup.
in his old age, Stafford has
coaching matchup.
incredible arm talent to where it's like, yeah, he can make these
Any throw.
uncomfortable throws against the blitz. Like
Yeah.
even at 36, like
Yeah.
you're just seeing like he can opposite hash, like drop a dime across the field over the guy that's covered, but
Yeah.
he just drop it in the bucket. Like he's got that type of talent. He can
Yeah.
sidearm it. He can no look. And if you start blitzing, that's when McVay starts running these
Coaching
screens. Like,
quarterback.
he's getting Puka
Coaching quarterback.
and open space, and like Puka. I think people forget he is a big dude. He's like 6'4" and like
Pretty big.
230.
Is he Hawaiian?
Yeah.
He's Samoan, I
Is he
think.
Samoan?
One
At
of-
least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pacific Islander?
Yeah. And like he is a bruiser. Like you kind of
I
like
wonder
you're
where
like,
he
oh
went to
man,
col- Where'd he go to college?
he's got
Louisiana?
he was a MAC school, I think.
Yeah, it was a MAC school. He didn't really
Or
go to
or
that.
Mountain West, was it?
Matt. He went to a very small college.
Came out of nowhere.
Came out of absolutely.
But that
nowhere.
he's one of those guys where like people kind of forget. You get him in the open field, like him against a like 1-on-1 with a DB, he's probably winning that. He's a big dude. Like he'll just run over your defender, and he's got great speed too to get once he gets into the open field. I like the Rams here more. Sean McVay as a
I think
coach,
we're all on the Rams.
Yeah.
talent wise, I think you'd say, oh well, the Vikings should have it, but their history of playoff choking, McVay is Kevin O'Connell's,
Oh, he went to Washington.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah.
okay, no kidding.
Oh,
No.
excuse me. He transferred from Washington COVID year. He played for the BYU Cougars.
Oh, he was BYU.
I was good. I thought so. I thought BYU.
And he is from Provo, Utah.
Okay, he felt like he was somewhere like
Selected in the 5th
southwest.
round. 5th round.
Studs. So you find some studs.
You
man.
do not need to draft a wide receiver high Arizona Falcons or Arizona Cardinals, whatever team. Didn't they draft Drake London?
No, that was the Falcons.
Was that the
Falcons.
Falcons? Yeah, so
But
Falcons.
the Cardinals
got
took
Marvin
Falcons.
Harrison.
Bingo.
They got Marvin
Boom.
Harrison.
Insert same bad decision here. Don't need to. Puka
Yeah.
Nacua, Drake London.
Puka.
Puka rookie season, Marvin Harrison future.
Puka. Easily.
Well, I think we know what Puka
Not
is.
even a debate.
I like Marvin Harrison Jr. I just don't know if he's gonna turn into what Puka.
Yeah,
has
we
with
don't
him.
we don't know his future yet. So
Yeah.
But then it's like, would you get a guy like Malik Neighbors? I don't know. That's tough.
Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, I'm taking that guy over pretty much every wide receiver in the league right now.
Oh,
He's
definitely.
getting all of the coverage because he's the only threat on
Dude.
that field, and he's
Kid-
running like a kid on a playground.
I've heard
Yeah.
this comp to Julio Jones. Kind of, can you kind of see that?
I say Reggie Wayne because they're moving this guy slot
Yeah, he's
outside.
That's
everywhere.
true.
He's playing.
He's
Oh, I
everywhere.
like
see
that
like
even.
a Reggie Wayne.
He's
type.
everywhere.
I actually kind of like that
He's
comp more.
catching it outside the numbers. He's catching it inside the numbers against press man, rolled coverage, still breaking off routes, and he's getting throwing the ball to the most mid quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Right, Mac Jones is.
But he's just
Oh,
wide
Mac
open.
Jones, yeah.
He's routing people to get it. He doesn't need the quarterback. He's 7-11, open 24/7. He will route you. Love watching that guy play football, man. And his hands,
Absolutely.
he attacks the ball. He goes and fucking gets it.
strong hands. The way he can
fade one-on-one, it's 80-20 him.
dude, the way he can explode off of one step too. Like he
Right.
gets your DB out of position, and then it's like he
He's
gets
he's top speed in 3 steps.
he gets him going inside. Then he can just one cut, boom,
Boom,
he's
and he's
gone,
gone.
and you're in chase
You're
mode.
left.
Yeah.
He gets you to turn your hips, and as a DB, you turn your hips
You're screwed.
and you turn your back. It's over, dude. It's over.
Yeah.
That
guy's a beast.
Fifth round pick. You know what I mean? Brian Thomas Jr. after going to the Jags. Who's this guy?
Well, Brian Thomas Jr. was a first round pick.
Yeah, but still, he went
Yeah.
to the Jags after they already,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, was kind of an afterthought.
yeah.
All right, well, that is the playoff rundown. How many
No,
top
no.
plays do we got? Do we have time for
We
a
got
quick
like
break?
20. We could do a quick break.
we
Yeah,
can-
we got enough time.
A quick break.
Go through the videos real quick.
And then we'll come back. We'll hit our top plays, and then that'll be our sign off for the day. A lot of great conversations today, fellas,
Wednesday
about the
show's gonna be
playoffs.
awesome.
Oh yeah, it's gonna
We'll
be
talk
great.
more about the playoff implications of some of these games.
And I want to dive into these Pro Bowl rosters. Definitely some interesting things. No Mahomes, and I think that was well deserved. We'll get into that on Wednesday. Stay with us, folks.
We'll be right back.
Best Buy, Little Caesars, Subway, all across the nation could play. So we're pretty freaking excited about it. Come on, y'all, let's take a little trip to Wichita.
I've always had a way to lead me astray. Made me think it was my plan. Your southern charm and wit have always been your gift. The downfall of many a good man. But there you go again, off with my best friend, acting like you done lost your mind. Well, I ain't about to stay with you treating me this way. So love is not really blind. But the whiskey gets me before you do. I can't let my heart fall. I'll be throwing down my second round, and I'm headed back to Wichita. Try and explain and make me look insane, but your words feel just like a slap. I can tell by that look in your eye, you ain't ever coming back. Hope the whiskey gets me before you do.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
You are looking live at Military Broadcast Radio.
What's
Still
up?
the final whistle.
We're back.
Caveman to my left. Tom, right? Jimmy covers. Ones and twos. We got some top plays. Top plays, you say? Top plays. We broke down all the college football playoffs, NFL playoffs. We got much more coming up on Wednesday's show. Tune in Wednesday at 8 in the morning, bright and early. Morning drive to work. We got some top plays from over the week. I mean, we got all sorts. I mean, I cannot believe the Chicago Bears took down the Green Bay Packers. Kyle does deserve a shout out for winning the Pick'em Award.
Yeah, I think
So,
he's got it.
good
If it
job.
go into playoffs, he's pretty much won.
Oops.
He's pretty much won, right?
Yeah, he won. It's over.
It goes into playoffs, but he won it.
Oh,
He
does
got
it go in the playoffs?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Kyle, go ahead and
It's gonna be
pick
over.
pick your gift that you want to give out to a veteran, either on MBR. Just pick a veteran and pick a gift. The three of us, we will come together and we'll get that for because we didn't really decide what we were going to give out to the winner. So go ahead, since you won it, you'll pick the gift for the winner, and it has to be a veteran though. Got to give it out to a veteran. So you got plenty of options.
Yeah, do like a
though,
gift
on
card or
MBR.
something to one of the
Yeah.
maybe one of the veterans that you
And
guys
we'll-
got to work with.
The three
If
of
you-
us will pay for it for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
We'll pitch in together since you're
So,
the winner.
If you know a vet, or if you just want to pick a vet on the MBR network,
Hopefully
let
you're
us know.
watching right now too.
I'm
We
a
got
vet,
it.
Kyle. If you want to give me a
Yep.
gift
I
card.
got it.
You know,
Jimmy
Dad. You know,
covers the
Dad's
vet.
gonna be mad if you don't pick him when I tell them. About
Oh, I
this.
guess
He's
so,
like,
yeah,
and
you
you didn't
got-
pick me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. All right. Well, without further
Shout
ado,
out,
let's
kids.
get into it. Top plays
plays.
of the week.
We did it at the same time.
We did.
Shot clock winding down, puts up a three. Bang! He is a one-man wrecking crew. This is caught! Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Well, I can't believe it's on here, but I'm gonna play it. Kevin Byard, the OG, used to play for the Carolina Panthers, I believe it was, for a long time.
Tennessee Titans.
Titans, same team,
Titans
different
as
name.
Then the Eagles got him for a bag of potato chips.
That's it.
Yep.
Yep. And now he's on the Chicago Bears, and he had a big hit on an unblocked, just free rush at
Yeah,
my boy
this one,
Malik
man.
Willis, man. Like I seen it coming. Like it's like a car accident.
I
So
felt
you know,
bad putting it
sometimes
in.
when you're a fan and you're watching the game and you're like, oh no,
I felt bad putting
like
it in there, Jimmy.
you're either
Sorry.
gonna throw a pick six. Like there's just something about some plays where you just
Like, it's
you
happening.
know this is gonna happen.
Here
It
it goes.
starts and you're like, oh, this is off.
Brother, I saw Byard take one step on that offensive line, like towards the offensive line, and I knew none of the offensive linemen like
nobody.
checked, like just pointed at him. Or I'm like, I got that guy. I didn't see that. They're all looking away. I'm like, oh no.
He's coming through.
And I knew it was a passing down. So I'm like, oh no. Here it is. Let's check it
Okay.
out. Probably like top play of like the Chicago Bears lifetime against the Green Bay Packers. No, we got one of those.
I got
coming
one
up
other
later.
one.
Listen up.
Willis wants to throw. He's blasted by Byard. The ball is out, and it's scooped up by Chicago.
He
They
They
popped
go
it-
down and
popped him good right there.
they go down and,
Fumbled it.
and kick a field goal. That kind of made it a touchdown game. We had to go down there and score a touchdown, go for two. You know, that kind of was really the mega difference,
Yeah.
really. But great play by the Bears there. They finally break
I like-
the schneid. They break their 12-game losing streak to their rival that they've lost 11 straight to, the Green Bay
That's
Packers.
hilarious.
I like Byard. He just
So-
wanted to hit somebody because like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
like
why
he could have
not?
easily like
Why
went for
not?
that football instead, but like he just like and swiped at it. Nah, he just
Laid
lowered
him
his
out.
shoulder
Sack.
Yeah.
and
Why
the
not?
will.
Feel bad for my boy Malik Willis. Otherwise, played a decent game with no practice. I mean, if Willis starts the game, we win. What are we even talking
That's-
about?
Honestly,
You know what I mean?
it
Like
was
if we
only
just
a
rested
2-point game.
everybody.
it was only a 2-point game. You guys could have won. You
If
guys coulda
Josh
won if you
Jacobs
stopped.
played the whole game with Malik Willis, we win by probably 25 points.
Honestly, yeah. Just looking at the stats, you don't even have to watch anything
Right.
about that game.
Yeah.
You just see.
So, it's all right. But dude, talk about a new lease on life. Dude, Bryce Young.
Look how happy he is, dude.
He's out here
Look how happy
throwing
he is on this play.
Steph Curry no-look touchdowns, man. I'm
He's
so
so
happy
happy.
for this kid. I mean, he's going to have a rude awakening coming next year because now you're not there. Now we want to kill you. You know, you're not going to get the cut. Kyler Murray had one good year too. And then everybody's like, yep, we can just hit you. And you're going to fold like a wet paper towel. But enjoy it now, Carolina Panthers fans. This is your highlight. Shout out Carolina Panthers. Shout out Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick. This is a great play. Let's watch it.
Atlanta loses a timeout. Fake the handoff. Young, step and throw.
And he knew it before the ball even got there. That was Steph Curry throwing up the 3 and retreating without even seeing it.
Yeah, when the
Good for
guy's
him, though.
wide open in the end zone, like, yeah, cool. Awesome.
Here's another thing with Bryce Young. I don't want to be like super nitpicky about the young guy because we just showed a highlight of him. But not only do you have to hit him, just like stay home in your passing lanes.
Right.
You don't even really need. He can't really see over the line.
Right.
Just
Which is
walk-
why they're bootleg
forward.
rolling him out to create a passing lane for him.
Just stay in your lane as a defensive lineman with your hands up.
Yeah.
And you muddy the water for him even more.
Exactly.
You don't even really have to get to him.
No. Nope. Give him the illusion. He gets happy feet. It's okay.
But I think he's been playing well through the end of the season.
Not playing too bad,
And
man.
we were hyping him up a lot earlier.
I like
if you
it.
guys heard. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of potential there.
A lot of potential. Meat on the bone.
Yeah.
Meat on the bone.
Yeah, I know.
Especially you give him a system, offensive game. You don't need a barn burner at quarterback.
Everyone's
You don't.
beatable.
Everyone's beatable, caveman. Thank you.
Yeah, we're just here to point
Thank
it
you.
out, say what they're good and bad at.
Point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
Make them a game. There's nothing wrong with being a game manager.
Oh, exactly.
I hate when people, he's just a game. Like I'm pro Cam Newton when he came out with his game manager or, game maker type of thing on his podcast. Shout out Cam Newton. I like 3/4 of those game manager quarterbacks that he said.
Right. I'll take
Just
it.
don't mess it up, man.
Dude.
Especially you got a squad. Get the ball to the guys in your jersey and don't give it to the guys in the other jersey.
Hey, Peyton
You're gonna
Manning
win a
and-
lot of games.
Peyton Manning in 2015, game manager, but
Right.
won the Super Bowl.
The greatest game manager in the history of football was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's all he really was. Didn't mess it up.
2000 Ravens. Who was
Last
their,
2
Tell me
minutes,
who their
be
quarterback
good.
was. Well,
Right. Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer. Yeah, I think it was Dilfer.
They went
Nobody-
through 3 different quarterbacks that year.
Nobody
Insert
even knew.
mid
It was
here.
just, hey,
Insert guy.
just 4-13 games over.
yeah,
QB
just
by
don't-
committee.
don't make
Don't
the,
mess it up.
don't put the defense, already guarding
Yeah.
somebody in the red zone. Just don't throw turnovers.
Just don't
Our
mess it up.
defense will go
Joe
win the
Flacco.
game. Joe Flacco,
Don't mess it up.
86 Bears. Who the hell was their QB?
Jim
Joe
McMahon
Flacco.
Jim McMahon,
Joe
yeah.
Flacco is
from
alright.
BYU.
He's a little better.
Right.
Than that. Joe Flacco's a little.
You
better.
can you
He's an
can win
MVP.
championships with game managers.
1,000,000%, Mercury.
Like you just
Get him a defense.
honestly
Give him the ball back a few extra times
couple of good
because he's
running
going to
back.
mess one up. Good running back.
Yeah, good run game, whatever you got.
Get a
and-
defense that can get some stops. Get the ball to him. Milk the clock. Run the ball. Not difficult. I think the future's bright for Bryce Young. I don't want to get too far into the weeds.
I don't
Shout out Amber.
even want to. I mean, call me crazy. I think Patrick Mahomes for a good chunk of the year was just being the game manager,
1,000,000%.
and he
brother.
was kind of being a bad game
Yeah,
manager because he
turning
turned the ball over.
He was turning it over.
We really don't
and his
hope
defense-
Tyreek Hill, now new free agent. He's not going to go back to Kansas City, is he?
I hope.
I hope not, man. The way his head drop gave, that's a trauma response. He's like, no, it can't happen.
I don't want that for
You
HG,
know,
man.
you know that. You
I don't
know
want
it's
that for
probably
HG.
going to be an option.
I don't want that. For
Get them
HG.
somewhere
Like
in
the
Texas. Doesn't
ex-girlfriend.
have any income tax. Put them on the Texans
Texas.
or the
He already-
Cowboys. Let them
he
go to the
already had a
Cowboys.
deal.
Whatever.
He
Why
already had
not?
a
Why
deal
not the
with
New England
Russell Wilson.
Patriots?
Massachusetts has income tax.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like that's gonna
He has
play. back.
15 kids. He's going to have to do
Yeah.
things. Another rookie sensation.
That's why he picked. Part of the reason he picked Miami was no state income tax.
That's true. Yeah.
Like he's not going to a blue
That's true.
state. I'm just being real. When you got
Go to Jaguars.
yeah, you got 16 alimony
I mean,
payments
you
to
just
make.
moved about
Like
50 miles south of, or north of.
you're on the hook for
Wow.
18 child support payments. Like
Tough. It's tough.
you need
That's
all the money you
crazy.
can get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's getting these bags, but I mean, Adrian Peterson got $1.5 trillion and he's broke, but he has, 42 kids. And it's like, oh, dude, one of his baby moms, I was reading on a thing, dude, he had like monthly child support payments of like $400K he had to make. It's like, bro, I'm not even in the league. Judge didn't care. Got to do it. Oklahoma. Anyway, Malik Neighbors, another rookie sensation, probably the one bright spot for the New York Giants.
Definitely.
Nice throwaway season with absolutely nothing there. Malik Neighbors sets a rookie record for the New York Giants. Congratulations, Malik Neighbors there. You're probably the first or second rookie wide receiver this year, yeah?
I'd put his fellow Tiger above him. I think BTJ was the best, but Neighbors definitely the second best this
Pretty
year.
good year. And he didn't get the ball for 3/4 of the year because he had no quarterback. Still set a record. Pretty good. We'll see what he does when the team, they're probably going to go quarterback in the draft this year. So we'll see what they do next year with Malik Neighbors. But here's his, been on the top plays of our show a few times this year. So
I think this third or fourth.
Good job, Malik Neighbors. And you get a shout out.
3rd down and 8. Lock taking a deep shot. Neighbors is open at the 15. Stays on his feet. Tiptoes. And he is in. Touchdown. One for the road for Malik Neighbors.
I like it, man. Good job. That was a great
Good
goal.
contact balance.
Contact balance.
Yeah.
Underrated
Backpedaling,
danger.
too.
Yeah, backpedaling.
He's kind of dangerous when in the open field with the ball in his hands.
Kind of reminds me of a poor man's OBJ a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, next up, we got a wild touchdown pass from the Tennessee Titans. Let's check it out.
College at Wyoming and USC. Levis will just let it go with a hand in his face, and it's going to be caught out of nowhere. Tay Martin, 3 defenders. He comes in, makes the catch, gets into the end zone. 40.
Will Levis is like, oh, thank God my prayer was answered.
Is Will Levis MVP next year?
No.
He completed 9 passes this game. No way. He was 9 for 17.
You're so unserious, Jimmy.
No way.
Get out of here.
It's going to be Spencer Rattler MVP before it's going to be Mayo Man any day of the week, dude.
Yeah.
Will Levis is selling car insurance next season. What are we talking about?
I think he's still going to be in the league, bro.
Yeah,
he probably will.
He'll probably be in the league.
He's probably still going to be on the Titans.
He is a great tanking quarterback. If you just need a guy to go in there, chuck the ball up, he'll probably turn it over, take a lot of bad sacks, but he'll keep your wide receivers happy enough to where you can
he'll have some exciting plays.
At least look like you're trying to be competitive and not showcase the tank. But
I love this one that was in here. I watched this live. This was funny. Perfect studio update. I mean, being in the media, small member of the media,
hilarious.
Is absolutely comical. You get the top play of the week. This is
It's incomplete. Time to go to New York for an update.
Guys, this must be a mistake, but I'm going to do it anyway. We've got a Houston Oilers fumble picked up by the Houston Texans and ran back for a touchdown. And yes, that does appear to be 2 times in a row that the Houston Oilers uniforms have been worn against the Houston Texans, and the Texans happen to be 2-0 while wearing them. How about that?
Thank you, JJ, for that history lesson.
And then that play right there that they were leading out of it was the long touchdown pass that you just saw.
Yeah.
Right out of that.
So I don't know what was going on.
Holy crap. Shout out.
CBS
Streamies.
must have been resting some of their starters for the playoffs.
I agree. Yeah, they must have. They must have had me and Cave.
Should have put in us. They should have put us in, man.
Dude, I can run
That's
the
why it
control
was
board.
messed up.
Roll
Got
package 2.
Come on.
Copy. Roll package 2.
Get us in there.
I know a TriCaster. I work
CBS, if you need us, we're here. Call into the show. Hire us.
Call into the show, CBS.
We'll be on call.
Shout out Trey McBride. He's only been on our show a couple times. Did catch 1 touchdown pass last week, which is the only one so far of his season.
He got one this game too.
Got one this game. So he doubled his touchdown total this game to 2, boys. What a year for Trey
1 to
McBride.
2.
Probably set he was close to setting receiving records without scoring a touchdown for tight ends in NFL history.
I think he set the record for most consecutive receptions without a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then he would have set the single season record for most receptions without a touchdown. He'd have the season with the most receptions and no touchdown passes. But he broke that, so he doesn't have that record at least.
Trey
horn.
McBride, big hurdle, big fan. Let's check it out.
Just a little bubble screen, getting the receivers out in front of you. Can't quite get over the top of Brown right there, but your ability, contact balance, your ability to come down and continue to move, he's got elite level ability when it comes to run after the catch.
Oh, he landed it too. Nice.
That's a big man jumping. I did want to show this one, man. This was kind of a crazy play, dude. Where'd it go?
Yeah. We're gonna go quicker here because we're trying to kiss.
Bears fake punt return. I wanted to show
Give
you
it
guys
some
this
more.
one. This one was absolutely crazy.
Wheeling to punt it away. Cleaner operation this time, trying to pin everybody deep, and it's fielded on the far sideline. It's Blackwell, a little bit of trickery in the special teams game, and Blackwell is going to take it all the way for a Chicago touchdown.
Absolutely awful, dude. Absolutely awful. They did that play with Johnny Knox and Devin Hester way back in the day. They got us on a return like that also. And
I was the gunner too. That
meaningless.
fielded it.
Absolutely stupid, man. Like crazy, bro. And then this is the part that I liked. Like we weren't having none of it, dude.
And Cairo Santos tries to Lambeau leap and denied.
Yeah, get him out of
Get
here.
him
Get him
outta
out of
Get him
here.
out of
Get
here.
him out of here.
Watch
Get outta
watch
here.
the fail one. Good Lambeau leap fail.
Owens scooped it up, and the Bears are in business with 2 seconds to play in the first.
Hell's his husband. He has a zero ex-Packer.
Ex-Packer. You can't even do the Lambeau leap.
On the
Come
short
on.
wall. That's the short wall.
That one doesn't.
That
look
was the
very
short
tall.
wall. I could do the Lambeau leap on the short wall.
You're embarrassing your wife, dude.
Like planting
No
himself on
athletic
the
ability.
wall.
That kid is going to have all the mom's athletic ability. You mentioned
All right.
this guy earlier,
So-
Damian Pierce, with a 92-yard touchdown run. This was absolutely electric. Let's check it out.
Honor to be put in the same category. Here's Pierce, and Pierce is going to break free. He's going to go all the way with one man to beat. Mike Brown is trailing him, and Pierce inside the 10 into the end zone.
Titans are like, we want that number 1 pick. Get in there.
Get in there.
An absolute brutal football betting week for me this week, and I bet under in the first half, under 18 points. And that touchdown, after I watched that with a whole quarter left and they had 14-0, I knew it was over. Halftime point score was, I believe, 16-9, so that went over. I bet the under.
Rip.
Not good. Rest in peace. Denver, triple deflection touchdown. Was this Marvin Mims catching that
It was
touchdown?
Delon Bailey.
Devon
Oh,
Vele.
Vele.
Devon
Let's check
Vele.
this one out.
Looking for the rookie record. Ball tipped and caught. Oh my gosh! The double deflection and a Denver touchdown. I know it's incredible, but I think
The double D touchdown. Beautiful.
Yep.
That was absolutely awesome. Way to scoop that off.
Thank
the
God
ground,
Troutman
too,
didn't get a hand on that. There
No
also would have
kidding.
been out of bounds.
Yep.
Or illegal touching.
Or illegal touching, yeah.
All right. Next one here. Brandon Aubrey sniping a cheerleader.
Oh,
This
you
is just
gotta-
kind of
Oh,
impressive.
yeah.
Everybody,
that
you
was
gotta
funny.
see it.
Kind of impressive accuracy here. Check this one out.
As to the status of McCarthy and company. Oh boy. Brandon Aubrey, again with the penalty, the ball was spotted at the 50, and he's still going to boot it out of bounds. They're going to somehow give great field position at the 40-yard line to Washington here.
Kickoff out of bounds, kicking team. Ball placed at the 25-yard line.
Maybe this
Friendly fire.
that football might. I mean, that chick's face is kind of. I don't know. We might have some vision problems. Jerry's too old to be making the cheerleaders are ugly. Did you guys see that chick? Her face was like, bro, like she
Sabrina will
definitely.
not stand for this slander of the Cowboys.
Oh, dude, her face was swollen. Like, what are we talking about? Like, no.
Maybe it's the football. Maybe it's getting hit with the football.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Who knows? Who knows?
You
Who
get
knows?
beamed by a football with kicked by Brandon.
Well, I'm
Aubrey.
already ugly.
Yeah,
I'm not a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
that's true. I think you could do it, Jimmy. Let's get you out there.
We're all
for
up
this.
Dude, I would
We're gonna be
definitely-
Dallas
oh, I would
Cowboys
definitely-
cheerleaders
I'd
next year.
definitely give it a
boys.
go.
All right, we're running out of time, so we're gonna keep moving. I'm gonna play this next one. We got a big man interception, but the bus ran out of gas.
Zappy. Oh, big fella touchdown. My goodness. Michael Pierce.
Don't kneel down, Big Pierce.
What are you doing?
Don't kneel down.
I was about to go crazy as a 365-pounder was going to run down the field.
You see Zach Orr, the defensive coordinator, just running down the sideline. Look at the
Come
whole
on,
side.
you get a chance for an epic moment. I mean,
They got him in 5 yards deep in
Dude,
coverage. That's
only the
amazing.
Cleveland Browns season could end by getting picked off by a 365-pound lineman.
This was a playoff team last year.
The Cleveland Browns. What happened?
Second overall pick.
Sean Watson.
Yeah,
The
Deshaun Watson.
The diddler.
Deshaun Watson, dude.
Diddling, dude.
dangerous.
Deshaun Diddy, dude. That
But
dude
I will
was
say this: Pierce almost blew both of his ACLs out trying to dive like that on his knees.
Almost put himself on
broke his
season-ending,
back, dude.
Belly flop, brother. You know
Crazy
what I mean?
play call to have your
belly flop, brother.
have your
You got a lot of beef there in the
Slide
front.
on one.
370-pound defensive lineman.
His belly's so
dropped
big,
in
your
the
face
coverage.
mask won't even hit the ground. Your belly's gonna stop it.
Dude, he read that well too.
He did.
He sat
his
on
hands
the,
out there.
lurked on the route, and then
Yeah.
he read the quarterback's eyes, broke on
Got
the
him.
ball.
Got him.
Elite.
Got him.
That's about the end of the Bailey Zappi experiment in the NFL too.
Yeah, I think that's over. I think
that's rock bottom right
welcome
there.
to the CFL.
Welcome to the UFL. We'll see you in spring, Zappi. We'll see you in spring. The guy that took Bailey Zappi's job had a nice touchdown dot this weekend. Check
Joe
out
Milton played pretty good. Shout
Joe
out Tennessee
Milton
Vols.
right here.
He's just like Josh Allen looking for his 115th consecutive start.
Milton again. Booty wide open. It's a 48-yard strike. And Joe Milton having a good old time.
And they kind of did old Cuzzy dirty after this game. They fired him
I
for
know.
ruining their draft position.
Yeah.
Joe Milton out there slinging dots on the run.
I'll get into
Can't
that.
have that, kid.
I'm gonna get into more of that on Wednesday, but
I'm with
I think
you.
the
I hear you on that.
He
Patriots
was trying
kind
to
of
win to
screwed him.
keep his job, and they fired him
Yeah.
for
I mean,
it.
he's a rookie too, so it's like you're
Yeah.
going to show it on film. He's going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of these teams needs a quarterback. Make a trade.
All right. Well, we're also for the brand here. Check out this amazing punt that we got on deck.
Howden coming over, but that would have been a huge game. Ball is dropped, and now it's a bad kick. It's just rolling forward. Oh, my goodness. So Browning saved an early disaster, but then he just barely got his foot on it. It's a 14-yard punt.
Fans are booing. They win. The
Yeah,
game.
that was
Tampa Bay
awesome.
fans. What are we doing? Booing the punter?
Honestly, the fact that he was able to get a
Get it
punt
off.
off,
Yeah.
despite dropping the snap,
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have dropped the snap, but whatever. It's all good. All
Derek
right.
Barnett, scoop and score. Shout out Derek Barnett.
Which will put another incentive in for him. Oliver fumbled the football. It's picked up by Barnett, who's having a day. He's rumbling inside the 10, pulling guys inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Texans. And everybody's going to celebrate with Barnett. It was a
Barnett just front flipped with a guy on his back like a Ninja Turtle.
Dude,
bro.
he drugged number 12 like a.
That's Lad McConkey.
That's not
No,
Lad.
no, no.
No, that
That's-
wasn't Lad. That
oh
was
my gosh, the blue, the
that
powder
was
blue,
throwing you off.
yeah.
the powder blue.
I-
Who's number? That might be Westbrook Akine.
That might have been him. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
That
And
was
he got
right.
trucked a couple times because he got
number
planted.
80. That was number 80. That was getting killed.
That guy planted a couple times. That's
he got
brutal.
shoved by Barnett.
Dude,
Barnett,
got
yeah,
pancaked.
yeah. And
He
then he was
leveled-
trying to attack, and then he got blown up by the linebacker. coverage.
Leveled the ball carrier, threw his own guy out of the way, and then
Right.
just went.
Could you imagine if Pierce from the Baltimore Ravens would have?
Oh,
I mean, it's like
Would've been
Saquon
crazy.
Barkley reverse
Come
split like
on, dude.
360 hurdle, and
Michael
then like that
Pierce.
guy doing a front flip with a guy on his back for a touchdown.
Michael
I mean,
Pierce
those are the
playoff
two best.
interception.
I got it. That's kind of
need it.
crazy, man. We're up against the time, or otherwise I'd play that.
We're gonna run our final play. We're gonna have to skip a few, but I think we'll go with the Commanders calling game. Marcus Mariota
Getting the
to
6
Terry
seed.
McLaurin.
And a goal, end zone shot for the lead. It's McLaurin. He's got it. Washington is in front.
That's the fourth time. That's the
Scary Terry.
third or fourth time they've called game and just won it. The Commanders are scary, man. I don't want to play them.
Scary Terry, dude.
3-6 matchup's going to be sick. That's the end of the show for everyone today, though.
Thanks for
We'll be
hanging out.
back on Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out. Like Jimmy said, we'll be back 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Good night and good luck, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us, giving our veterans a voice.